This is the moment you've been waiting for. It has finally come. Welcome to Dr. Bill Riley Stadium on the campus of Laney College, and say hello to the 2026 college football season. We've got a matchup between the Monterey Peninsula College Lobos and the Laney College Eagles. My name is Max Agrest, joined alongside my partner this evening, Brendan Kilcoyne. Thank you so much for choosing to spend your Thursday evening with us. After going an undefeated 11-0 in 2024 in the American Division, Monterey Peninsula College took a big step up to the National Division where they came out red hot, winners of 6 of their first matches. They ended up extending their winning streak to 17-0 before eventually coming off to a really tough finish to the season. Came out, dropped 4 of their next 5 matchups to finish the 2025 campaign 7-4. And despite graduating 17 total players, Monterey Peninsula College returns nearly 50 players under second-year head coach and offensive play caller Adrian Gallegos. This roster is expected to be a lot bigger, faster, stronger, and more importantly, more physical than a year ago. The Laney College Eagles on the other side enter this campaign in 2026, looking to turn the page on a very difficult 2025. 2-8, announced the record of last year. It was filled with a ton of ups and downs. Second-year head coach Josh Ramos coming out here. He's focused on getting everything established and establishing consistency this offseason rather than trying to rely on those highs and lows that we saw a year ago with all the interceptions and all the big plays that ran rampant a year ago. Expect to see the same level of athleticism all littered out throughout the roster, especially in the defensive backfield, where they return 3 starters while adding another Division I bounce back. Hopes are high. They're sky high for those Laney Eagles as they join the NorCal Conference for the first time this season. All this excitement obviously comes along with some heavy hearts. The entire football community continues to mourn the loss of legendary coach John Beam, whose life was tragically taken from us on November of last year. This is the first game that the Eagles are playing since his passing. We're going to take a break, come back for the national anthem after a moment of silence to commemorate the life and achievement of Coach Beam. Kickoff on its way on the other side.
Your legacy lives on through the people and spirit of Oakland.
Laney to kick it off to start the 2026 campaign. Sending it down the field right to left. Laney's coming out in their black tops, black bottoms with the black helmets as well. Kicking off is Roberto Mora on the other side, the maroon tops with the white jerseys, black bottoms with the maroon numerals. Mora kicks it off with the right leg, and this one's going to be fielded down in the back of the end zone, pardon me. And so it'll be a touchback. Send out this Monterey Peninsula College offense, and they'll get it started at the 25-yard line. Monterey College, Adrian Gallegos in his second year taking over after a very successful time as the offensive coordinator. He's coming out, and he's going to be leading a very aggressive offense. This is a team that will go for it and go for it a lot. Third in the 3C2A in terms of fourth down conversions a year ago, where they went for it 31 times. We'll take a look at Dominic Perini as he is lined up for the far hash mark to get it started. Man-to-man coverage being shown across the board by the Laney defense as they shuffle running back into the backfield. Gets the chest-high snap. Surveys the field, hit and a fumble! Popped down on the ground, one of the offensive linemen picked it up, but the pressure from Laney College comes early, and it's coming often. Down to the 15-yard line.
Laney setting the tone early, bringing 6 on the blitz from that first play.
That is exactly what you want to see to start. You talk about fundamentals time and time again, but guess what? That's right there in your DNA. Behind the chains, this one is a long one. Second and long. They're just going to stick to the running game. No space along that line. The handoff went all the way to Caden Arsenal, the freshman running back, taken down for a loss.
Caden Arsenal, the ball carrier, 22.
So Arsenal getting the start today as a true freshman with a bunch of running backs in that backfield. It's going to be third down and very long here. Set down to the 11-yard line. The spot to gain is to the 35. Perini looks to the far sideline, going to throw a deep ball into some bad coverage. Two Laney defenders are right there to try to get their first pick of the season. Both of them unable to come up with the play. It was LeBeau Wallace alongside that top end. The punt unit's going to be sent out, and the pressure of Laney College showing its head.
I don't know if that was intended as a long ball. He had the receiver, Downey, out at about the 20-yard line, but that was about 15 yards ahead of him.
Some miscommunications all across the board to start off for this prolific offense. And the punter will come out for the first time. Can't quite get a number there. I believe it is 88. Junis Mendoza. He's going to shank this ball off his foot, off the right foot. It's going to bounce down to about the 24-yard line and take a Laney bounce right near the red zone. So as that ball barely chips off the foot of the punter, it's going to be first down and 10 from the 22 as we get a look at this new Laney College offense led by Willie Nixon.
Well, this is exactly what you wanted if you're Laney. Start the game out with pressure early, and you get yourself great field position to set the tone.
It'll be Treble Watts as the running back behind this I formation. The running back, Darion Moore, will be in the fullback spot. Offset I, play action fake. Nope, it's going to be a handoff over to the left side of the line. Diving his way forward is Watts as he gets a nice pickup on the play. Gets about 5 on the carry. Salvage a play here. It looks like somebody might have lost their helmet.
We got a flag as well, some laundry out on the field.
That's always the hard part about the first game of the season. And when you do it a day early here on this Thursday, even tougher.
Yeah, these guys definitely not used to having a game so early in the season. The rest of their games are going to be on Saturdays and Fridays, so you get slightly less of time in the week to prepare for the game, and sometimes that's what happens, as we saw with Monterey Peninsula. You make some mistakes early.
A face mask called against the Lobos, and this ball will be spotted down to the 10-yard line, so it would be first down and goal for the Laney offense before their first official play of the season. It's an offset eye look here from the near hash mark, but both the running backs right next to each other, right alongside that 15-yard line. Under center here is Nixon. Nixon turns around, breaks one tackle in the backfield, diving right into that second line of defense, and a carry for 4 by Treble Watts once more. Tackle on the play was made by the linebacker Kyler Twinton.
On the carry, it's Darian Moore, number 31.
It was actually Darian Moore lined up in more of that fullback position who got the carry there. Same formation, offset eye. A lot of heavy personnel here for the Laney College defense, or pardon me, offense. Fakes the handoff, give over to the back, working his way off the left side of the offensive line down to the 5-yard line. This one was Treble Watts on his first official carry. Picks up about a gain of 3 as he's taken down to the 4.5-yard line.
Treble Watts, number 28 on the carry.
So a couple runs, haven't seen the arm of Willie Nixon yet, the freshman out of Amarillo and Fairfield. He does have a very active situation with those legs, so expect quarterback run as well. Sprint out right. He's going to look to pass. Nope, turns the field, turns up the field, diving into the end zone. Took a hard hit standing above the defender. It won't even matter. In for the touchdown. Officials talking about something here. I don't see a flag, and as of the moment, we're still waiting on the touchdown call. There is a flag in the end zone. Maybe a hold downfield, or maybe I'm not sure.
I didn't get a good look at it either, Max.
By the way, the position groups are subbing it. It looks like it might be a holding call on the defense. If that is the case, it'll be an opening drive touchdown for the Eagles. That's exactly it. Eagles march their way 24 yards down the field, paired alongside some penalties off of a face mask, and it's the legs of Willie Nixon before he even gets his first pass attempt is into the end zone for a touchdown. Esteban Gonzalez Cruz ready to cross the tee on the PAT. Hold is down, the kick is up, splits the uprights, and the Laney Eagles come through with an opening score on their first possession. The defense got it done, the offense got it done. What do the Lobos have to do to try to turn the page after that tough first drive?
Well, we definitely saw that they're more than willing to take shots on that first drive. They just had a little bit of miscommunication, as you said. They need to make sure that they're on the same page, make sure that they're knowing what their play calls are and how they're going to execute.
And let's see if maybe they elect to go ahead and try to send a guy back there to return the kick. Sometimes a little bit of special teams and some early season magic is all you really need. Doing a terrific job to kick that one off to start was Roberto Mora, who's got plenty of leg behind him. Former soccer player and football player at Salesian High School, making his way down from Richmond over here to Oaktown.
Roberto Mora ready to kick for Laney.
And they'll see what he can put behind that big right leg. Another booming kick, end over end. This one going over the head of the Whitecap. Man, looking like some Janikowski action, trying to send it straight through the uprights there.
I don't know if he was trying his long distance for a field goal, but he definitely had a leg on it.
Got plenty of leg on it, absolutely.
First down and 10 to go for the Lobos.
And the Lobos will take it back out to the 25-yard line as Perini having a little rough start to the day, fumbling on his first pass attempt and nearly throwing an interception. Let's see what he's got in store. Looks like Ennabong Worth will be in the backfield alongside him now. Perini, the former 2-star quarterback, will give it over to his back. Some space up the middle of the field, diving forward and getting a nice chunk of yards. That's about 4 yards on the carry. It was Anthony Hobbs, the sophomore out of North Carolina.
Hobbs the carrier.
Sometimes that's all you need. Just a very productive first down run to try to get you back in rhythm.
Yeah, 4 yards gets you the first down every time, even 3 yards to do the job.
Looks like there's going to be some movement on that offensive line. Laney's pointing at the offensive line of Monterey. And that's exactly it, full start. At the next break in the action, I'll see if I can go ahead and get some technical difficulties with the official mic set so we can try to get some calls on the field. But until then, bear with us as we tell you, yes, it is a full start. Behind the chains once again. It's second down and 11 for Perini here from the 24. Near hash mark. Perini, head high snap, looking for the screen pass. A little bit of a hesitation, and then he does end up throwing it to Kendarius Poe. That's the number 1 receiver. Did a really good job hesitating to not try to throw a pick six in that situation. Still able to get a yard on the play. I mean, Laney had that one sniffed out all the way.
Yeah, Johnson was the one that got blocked, but he held up the receiver just enough to slow him down, and that allowed the extra guy to come in and make the tackle.
Out of the shotgun once again on third down and long. Chest high snap. Looking to go for it all. Has the post route off the hands of his intended receiver. Jaden Hernandez was there, had a step on the defensive back, and Fitzgerald Nicklese. But it is an incomplete pass, and Laney's defense pitching another 3 and out.
Well, he had him in motion over the middle. It was wide open and right over the head of the middle backer, but it just didn't have enough zip on it. You got to really get into the C-shaped release in these conditions.
Fernando Garcia Aridona back there, try to get a good one off. Has some pressure and shanks a second straight punt. 2 punts for the Lobos and 2 punts of just about 14. No, that one's only 5 yards. Really tough sledding for the Lobos to get this one going.
Well, you got to feel bad for the guy. I mean, even though you're not playing well, it's the first game of the season. We all have our mistakes, but that's a hard one to shake off, especially after your first one went awry.
And don't discredit this Laney special team defense on the return side. They're putting a lot of pressure in his face and forcing him into these tough situations. That's not an outright error. 2 back out of the shotgun here. After scoring the touchdown with his legs, Willie Nixon lining up between those 2 backs. Fixing up the clock and run this one back. Equipment violation. Looks like number 25 is going to have to check out there. I believe it was actually 24, Tyson Brown. So a change up in the formation. 2 receivers split out wide to the forehand side. 2 back formation out of the shotgun for Nixon. Coach Hagelson calling the offense. Longtime play caller here for the Laney Eagles.
11.
They're trying to fix this one up. 11-14 the clock. Whitecap able to scream his head off to try to get that call up into the booth for us. So an opening score from the Eagles as they got some help by the way of a penalty. Storming into the end zone off the legs of Nixon. Now let's see what Nixon has in store. Looking like pressure off the far side of the field with the 5-man front. Nixon gets the check from his sideline. Takes the chest high snap. He's going to give it over to the back. And no space there. Blitzing off that right side of the offensive line. That was number 15, Ryan Sanders, getting the tackle in the backfield. The All-Coast Conference All-Star able to make a big play here to keep the Eagles on 2nd down and 10. Going back to more of what we saw in the opening drive, offset eye here. Play action fake, rolls out to the right-hand side, throws it over to the back into the flats. And that is a beautiful spider to Y banana. John Gruden would be proud. Enough to pick up nearly enough for the first down. Let's see if they give it to him. Looks like it's going to be half a yard shy on the play. The receiver on the play was Darian Moore. So it'll be 3rd down and short. Man, I know he's technically a running back, but as a former lover of the fullback position, it's good to see those guys in the backfield, those H-backs getting involved.
Absolutely. And your quarterback also, you said it, very mobile, and we've seen it already. Not afraid to roll out of that pocket and dump it off to the check down.
Heavy formation here, and it's just going to be a quarterback sneak. Breaks 1 tackle, sends another one flying, and that's a gain of 5. Nixon didn't even have to dive forward. It looked like nobody was really prepared on the defensive line of Monterey, and it was just the Eagles storming their way, giving a room for a 5-yard rush.
Well, I don't know if I've ever seen a QB sneak get 5 yards up until today, Max, but they're definitely pushing forward with the offensive line.
Yeah, the push and the strength of this offensive line is on display early. Running right off that right hip of Bubba Tuika. Working from the far hash mark now, 2-back set once again. Jet motion for Cole Montana, and they will give it to the back. Going forward for a gain of 2. Cole Johnson, a.k.a. Cole Montana, out of Frenchtown, Montana. One of the more beloved players early on in the season. Expect to see him getting a lot of those jet motions, played wingback in high school. And he plays the eye candy in this situation for the Eagles.
Yeah, already a couple of motions from Laney, starting some misdirection and play action potentially, get the defense off balance, and getting one guy out of position is all it takes.
21 personnel, 2 backs, 1 tight end off the left-hand side with the 2 wide receivers to the far side. Showing that motion once again, and they will give it off over to the man motioning there. Cole Johnson right on cue. A nice pickup of just about 4.5 yards on the play to bring Laney College down to the 10-yard line. You know, it's like we watch film and study or something.
Hey, that's half the job, right?
Oh, yeah, I know. Whenever I talk to people, they're like, oh, it's so fun, you just show up and call the game. No, I got 40 hours of prep in my back pocket before we get anything going here. Same looking formation, and they'll give it to the back this time around. Diving his way forward off right guard and tackle. Won't get enough yardage for the first down, so stopped shy of the line to gain only after about a gain of 2 is Trevor Watts, and it looks like the kick unit will come out for Laney.
Trevor Watts, number 28, the ball carrier.
So from this spot, it'll be about a 26-yard attempt for Esteban Gonzalez Cruz. He was 5 for 6 in his freshman season here 1 year ago. This one right down the middle. Snap is off, the hold is down. Time to kick and time to split those uprights. Able to cross the uprights for a good 3 points. And Laney 2 for 2 to start the evening. Some tremendous plays on defense followed by some really tough punts on the Lobos end. And they did a really good job bending but not breaking there.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You said it. I mean, if there's anyone that you're going to trust as the coaches, it's going to be your QB and it's going to be your kicker right now. Both of them doing really good jobs of decoying the defense and making the right plays at the right time.
So physicality is on display. Talking to Coach Robert Crowley, the defensive coordinator, second year here with the Eagles, longtime quarterbacks coach. He was just talking about he wasn't necessarily surprised, but he was very happy with the physicality that was on display in the matchup against Modesto. Modesto, one of the top 5 teams in California. Laney College receiving votes. They're unofficially at that number 22 spot in the preseason polls, but expect a very different look from this Laney squad from a season ago. Third time, and Robert Mora looking like this one might be a little bit short of the end zone, and it will actually still bounce down the E of the Laney back end zone logo. So 3 for 3 on touchbacks, a ton of power on display for that young freshman out of Salesian. From the 25-yard line, working left to right, it's going to be NPC trying their 3rd term.
Thank you, Rick Becker, Josh Tanduma, Cassie Bovia, and Mia Richardson.
7:30 remaining here in the opening quarter. A lot of woes for the Lobos and a lot of yippies for the Eagles. Screen pass across the middle of the field, caught in motion was number 4. Actually, let's see. That is Nico Downey. So Nico Downey, he's somebody that you really expect to get involved in the offense, has a ton of speed, running 4.4, is a bounce back from Valparaiso. So an FCS level player coming here as a bounce back. We've seen a lot of success in that regard. And that is a nice pickup, trying to get the first down of the game for the Lobos. Ashton Murphy is the back. Standing tall, throws a quick out, and it's another catch for a first down. Jaden Hernandez able to get the first down, and that's the first down of the season for the Lobos. If you remember, he was the one that had the ball dropped off his hand, so just get him on a nice outbreaking route against some softer coverage and give yourself an opportunity. Hurrying up to the line, the chain game wasn't even set, and they take it over to Hernandez once again on the swing route. Only was able to pick up about a gain of 2 on the play, so it'll be 2nd down and 8. Working with tempo, that's what you want to see if you want to just try to get this very stout defense a little shaken up.
Well, you talk about hurry up. I mean, they were ready before most of us were ready.
I'm still looking at you, partner. Tight bunch to the far-hand side. Perini trying to get in rhythm here. Takes the chest high snap, looks towards the near sideline, underthrows that ball. Pardon me, he actually overthrows it as his man was completely covered. Kendarius Poe, the intended receiver on the play, but it's David Cuckoo coming out there. We were talking about a bounce back from Valparaiso, an FCS program. Talk about a bounce back from Washington State, a true Division I player. He is everything about that. Great job on the coverage there for the cornerback in David Cuckoo.
David Cuckoo, number 20 actually on the cover.
Yeah, a lot of returners on that back end of the defensive side for Laney College. They returned 3 of their starters, and you add another guy who is truly a Division I defensive back. They've got a lot of talent. 3rd down and long here for the Lobos. Perini's just going to give it over to his back this time around. Not much space to work off of. Leading the charge on the tackle is Junior Johnson, the freshman out of Vanden High School. So only about a half a yard, if that, on the gain. And the Eagles trying to force another punting situation here. It looks like the offense is actually going to stick here at the 40-yard line and go for it. Wow. You know about them being aggressive, but when your punting situation is the way that it's shown early on, sometimes it's just what you got to do.
Oh, yeah. Well, we see it a lot at the high school level, but at this level, it's a little more uncommon.
So let's see. The aggression on display for the first time in this season. We talked about how aggressive they were a season ago. This time in the -40. Going for it here. 4th down and 6 from the 40-yard line. 3-step drop, stepping up with the puck. He's going to go for the deep ball. Double coverage. That bracket was there over the top. No space there for Nico Downey. And the Eagles are going to head and trying to get off the field here. A little bit of commotion on the field as a flag comes in late. The body language of everybody is showing that it potentially might be a call against Laney College. So there are 2 flags. There's one in the backfield, and there is one on the sideline.
Number 4 and number 21, Zion Johnson in coverage.
At the next time out, I will very much so try get those official headsets working. Right now, the defense is staying put on the field. The offense staying put as well. Whitecap getting a conversation and a talking to. So it's going to be a personal foul called against the defense. I think that one was a late hit on the quarterback. And then on top of that, offsides? No, an unsportsmanlike conduct, actually. Okay, so we got the call in the booth here. Unsportsmanlike conduct called against Kendarius Poe. That's the number 1 receiver for the Lobos. And then a roughing the passer called against Laney. So those should be offsetting penalties and should be 4th down once again.
Roughing the passer on the defense. Unsportsmanlike conduct on the offense.
Ooh, terrific point there being made by our statistician. The unsportsmanlike conduct may have happened after the play. So in that logic, the order of operations, you would say, is a 1st down on the penalty on the late hit, and then after that you bring it back 15 yards from that spot. That's why you pay the big bucks. So I believe that is exactly right. They're going to get the 1st down on the penalty, and then they're going to bring it back 15 yards from that spot where the penalty is. So it will still be a 1st down for the Lobos here after the penalty. So it'll be 1st down and 10 from the 40-yard line.
1st down on the defensive penalty.
I don't know if that's a good break or a bad break, but it's definitely a break for them.
1st downs are 1st downs.
They can get all that they can right now after those first 2 drives.
Out of the shotgun, Laney's looking like they're going to bring pressure. Perini sees it, drops back into the flat, and no space in that backfield. Met right away by Braden Harvey and company. Tackle for loss on the play, and that's a loss of 3 yards.
Braden Harvey, number 33, and Zechariah Terry, number 98, two of the stoppers for the
Seems like they're
Eagles.
right back in the rhythm on defense, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Substitutions here. Jaden Brown coming in. He will come in replacement of Jaden Hernandez.
2nd and 12.
2nd and 12 officially marked down on the field from that far hash. Perini working almost exclusively out of the gun here. Play action fake, and he's going to go for the inside breaking route. Throws it back shoulder, doing a terrific job coming back to that ball to pick up the first down. Trevion Sewing out of Higley, Gilbert, Arizona. Not a great throw, but hey, sometimes that's why you have those terrific wide receivers to be able to make up for those mistakes.
Yeah, I got a little bit of separation off of the route from David Cuckoo, just overplayed it a little bit and able to break into the middle of the field and give them a fresh set of downs.
Sometimes all you need is a break to get yourself going. We're seeing the first really good successful pass across the middle of the field there by Perini. On the plus side of the field for the first time today, they'll give it over to the back to swing his way down to the 40-yard line. Only a gain of 2. See if we can get a ball carrier there. It looks like it is Caden Arsenal once again. He got the start today as a true freshman.
Oh, yeah, that's got to feel special, huh?
JUCO ball, man. You see some of the craziest walks of life here. Second down and 8 officially from the Laney 40-yard line. Jet motion with Hernandez across the formation. 2-by-2 set now. Looks towards the near sideline. Wheel route down that sideline, and it's Hernandez stepping out of bounds after picking up the first. That'll be a completion of about 16 yards on the reception, and Hernandez, we saw a glimpse of it, and now he's really putting it together. Didn't expect the defense to be oh so dominant the entire way with how well this offense is called by the Lobos. And it looks like we're starting to get ourselves a game here inside of 5 minutes to play in the opening frame. Here's Perini clapping for the ball. Looks towards the near sideline, wide open once again. Tackled down to the 6-yard line, finding the connection to Trayvon Sewing once more.
They're just throwing the short ones, the hitch routes, the curls, and that's all you need. Picking up 9 or 10 or maybe 12, that'll get you down the field in a hurry.
Those are pretty deep routes in my consideration. But taking the underneath routes, as you were saying, absolutely. Anthony Hobbs is in the backfield this time around. He gets the handoff and gets smacked right up into the hole. Only about a gain of 1 on the play. There was a car crash right in the middle of that pile. And that was led by Braden Harvey once again. Hobbs is a very fun story, so graduating class of 2011. He's actually the same age as the head coach in Adrian Gallegos. Played linebacker for the Lobos last year. Now going back to his position he played in high school at that running back spot. Back shoulder around and caught for the touchdown. Tavon Sewing on that back shoulder, got on the right page for Perini. They're still fighting for the ball, I believe, at the end of the pile, but the officials called touchdown, and that is a score for Monterey Pacific College.
I mean, that's just one you got to tip your hat to. You got the defender, David Cuckoo, all over him, and he just makes the back shoulder on the corner. My goodness.
The holder is Blake Hardman. The kicker who splits the upright on the play is Junis Mendoza. So very successful drive here, aided by some penalties, but it doesn't matter at the end of the day when you press in the end zone for a 7. So our score here with 2:07 left in the first quarter of play, 10 Laney, 7 Lobos. We're going to take a look at the first time that we're getting to see the kickoff unit for the Lobos.
It's 10-7, Laney.
Officially a 6-yard pass from Perini over to Sewing for the touchdown. We're taking a look at him. You can see why he had offers from some FCS programs out of high school. Dominic Perini showing some arm talent. He just needs the opportunity to be able to throw it.
Is Mendoza.
Jonas Mendoza sending it left to right. It'll be David Cuckoo and Jaden Bridgewater, the two men back deep. End over end kick. It's going to be fielded over by Cuckoo. Cuckoo fields it down to the 15-yard line. Looking for his blocking develop. Just runs through 3 different, 4 different, 5 different defenders as he brings it down to the 42-yard line. A 27-yard return on the play from Cuckoo.
Brings that back 27 yards.
And for the first time today, we are seeing Laney College offense starting out in their own side of the field.
First down, Eagles at the 42.
Living in that 2-back set. Another quarterback in here. It's Tanner Helton. Switching it up here, going under center is Helton, the sophomore out of Fort Myers, Florida. Jet motion drops the ball, just has to pick it up and scramble for a first down. Heads up play there by Helton. It can be tough to just be thrown into that situation. Didn't get a clean snap, but still able to pick up something.
Tanner Helton at quarterback number 8.
Helton spent last season at Garden City Community College down in Kansas. Did have 3 Division I offers, Stetson Penn and Alabama A&M, so definitely has some talent. Getting scouted out by some terrific programs and some smarts to be able to get into Penn. Flag before the play even goes on. This one likely going to be a false start on the Eagles. False start. Can't quite get the number here, but it's going to push Laney back. Second down and about 14.
Second down, 14.
Operating out of the 2-back shotgun here. Here's Helton. Give off over to the back. Cutting is up from the right-hand side. Spins out of 1 tackle and eventually gets his ankles caught up behind him. That was Trevor Watts. Pick up about, let's call it 7 yards before the tackle
Watts
was
made
made.
a great play on the defensive end. The downfield blocking was superb. There were 3 or 4 pancakes that happened for Laney. If he doesn't make that tackle, that could go.
Talk about how exclusive Watts could be. Now just giving him an opportunity to get into some open space. Passing situation here for Helton. Helton play action fake, has to roll out to his right-hand side and can't quite get out of the grasp of number 15, Ryan Sanders. The sophomore defensive back, we saw him make a tackle for loss early on. Now gets a big tackle as Helton goes 3 and out on his opening possession here for Laney College after 2 successful drives from Rui Nixon. So a late flag coming in as well. And things are starting to get chippy.
We saw some scuffle between TJ Harrell and RJ Dogba over here on the near sideline. But I didn't see the flag come out until just now when MPC was begging them to throw it.
Looking for a break any way you can get it. That's how their first offensive drive got going. Looks like the special teams unit for Laney is going to accept their fate and scoot this one back. Arav Patel going to be the one handling the punts this year. It's a really interesting prospect. 4.5-star punter, number 91 in the nation. And this guy has all the smarts in the world. Give me a guess. What do you think his GPA was in high school?
3.5.
Higher.
4.5.
Higher.
5.0.
5.19 GPA. I didn't know you could get that high. I mean, I wasn't the worst student in my time. Graduate of UC Davis, go Ags. Graduate of Berkeley High right down the street from here as well. But man, I didn't know those GPAs got in the 5s.
Must be with some of these new advanced placement classes or something. I don't know how they do them anymore.
I don't know either, but that man is brilliant. Coming out of Prosper, Texas, making his way west out here to Oakland, California. Now let's see if he can live up to the hype with his punting game. The punter looks to be, or the punt returner looks to be Preston White. Good snap. Low ball that's faded down with a 32-yard line. So flipping the sides of the field, punted the ball from about the 30, and it goes all the way out to the other 32. Pretty good job in my book.
Yeah, definitely better than what we've seen from MPC.
To be fair, though, I think the punter for the Lobos wants both those back badly. Let's see if he gets another opportunity at some point.
Who wouldn't, right?
This offense is rocking and rolling after a nice back shoulder touchdown over to Tavon Sewing. Arsenault is in the backfield alongside Perini. Operating out of the trip set to the near side. Staring down his receiver, one-on-one on the far sideline. Goes up, corrals it, but that one's washed out. Tavon Sewing the target once again. Hip-to-hip coverage with LeBeau Wallace. That's just good on good.
Well, even when they're covered, they're still throwing it up and letting them make a chance at it. And as we've seen from this one and the touchdown prior, they definitely can go up and get it.
Yeah, you expect to see Kadarius Poe get a lion's share of these targets, being the #1 receiver as a first-team All-Valley selection a year ago. But they've really found some success between the sophomore in Perini and the freshman out of Gilbert, Arizona in Sewing. Ensuing on the next snap. It's 2nd down and 10. Sprint right. It's actually a handoff and no room whatsoever for Ashton Murphy. The pressure and everything came right downhill and is a loss of 6 on the carry. Jaden Bridgewater getting his helmet involved in that action.
That was the final play of the first quarter.
That'll bring us down to our first stoppage in the action. 10-7 the score here with 15 minutes on the clock as we go to the second quarter of action here on Peralta TV. Back here on the field, 15 minutes on the clock in the second quarter of play. 10-7 is our score, and it's 3rd down and long after a big tackle for loss on the play. Perini's going to look to pass it, takes a 3-step drop, looks towards the near sideline. Back on the route is Tavon Sewing, and Sewing does get a nice chunk of yardage on the play, but he only makes it out to the 42-yard line, so it's going to be 4th down and 1, and the offense is staying on the field.
We saw them convert on a previous 4th down that was
By
a
penalty.
lot longer than this.
It was by penalty, so it's a little bit of a different situation. I think officially in the scorebook, this is the first 4th down attempt of the season.
But even on 4th and short, you always got to at least think about going for it.
It's going to be really tough. The defense of Laney has had a ton of pressure into the backfield, and that's exactly why we're seeing a timeout taken by Coach Gallegos in this situation. A big set here, and it's going to be the first timeout taken by the Lobos. We'll keep it here.
First timeout taken in tonight's contest.
They've had about 1 or 2 successful runs on the afternoon. It's been a lot of the passing game. I mean, you would love to go ahead and give it to your back and see if you can pick up a first down, but I don't know how realistic that is with the way that the front line of Laney is playing.
Well, that's where you're going to have to dig into your playbook a little more with those read options or a play action. Get some extra help out in the middle because your offensive line is just getting swallowed up right now.
Yeah, that's always the hardest thing. You felt like you were a lot better at offensive line this year, and we're seeing little glimpses of it, but that's the difficult part about moving up to the bigger division in the national division. It's really difficult to get that line play settled. Offense is going to stay on the field after the timeout, and it will still be a shotgun look here for Dominic Perini. So the marker to gain is at the 43.5-yard line, and it is a give over to the back. Space along the left side of the line, picked up for the first down. Anthony Hobbs comes in as the goal line back, and he's able to pick up a gain of about 6 on the play for the first. Stopping the action at the end of it all is Caddy Tuua, one of those linebackers in the deep rotation of backers for Laney College.
Cadillac Tuua, number 22 on the stop. First down, 11.
First down and 10, operating out of the pistol. Hobbs is going to stay in here. Back is off that left side of the offensive line. Right down the middle, a sledgehammer coming through past the 50-yard line. That is 228 pounds of a cannon being fired, getting into Laney's side of the field of 2nd and 5. Just a little boulder rolling downhill, huh?
Oh, yeah.
5'7", 228. It's a big body. 2nd down and 5. Perini goes long once again, hand fighting all the way through, and there's no flag on the play. Terrific coverage there by David Cuckoo going against Carendis Poe. In that situation, Carendis Poe is playing the ball at that point. He's hand fighting, but you're playing the ball. You have every right to it, and Cuckoo doing a great job there.
Yeah, I mean, MPC has done a great job of getting the long ball and giving their receivers a chance, but great job from Cuckoo there to just knock it away and not even give him a chance to go up and grab it.
13-14 remaining here in the second quarter. The score 10-7. 3rd down and just about 5. Perini stepping up, throwing across the middle of the field, and he's hawked down immediately. The receiver on the play is Jaden Hernandez, and the tackle made by Jaden Bridgewater. So Jaden on Jaden crime, and it's 4th down and just about, what do you call that one, a good 6.5, 7 yards? No. These young children born after the 2000s throwing up the hand signal, I'm not even going to give it any more time. We don't do that 6-7 stuff here, okay? I'm old. I'm born in the 1900s. Tight bunch to the forehand side. They're going for it on 4th down once again. And another timeout taken. That's the 2nd timeout taken on just this drive itself from Coach Gallegos. They've been in these 4th down situations both times.
Well, if there's ever a down to take a timeout, it's 4th down when you want to make sure you're on the same page.
You know, he is who he says he is. Coach Gallegos, extremely aggressive. Expected to see him going for it. But with the way that the punting situation has looked, I mean, you can't blame him, right?
Absolutely not. I mean, you got to take your chances, and sometimes that's going to go your way, and sometimes it's not. So you got to take the punches and roll with them as it may be.
So 1 timeout remaining here. Still 12:28 on the big clock remaining in this first half of action. Laney College scoring on their very first 2 drives. It was a 22-yard, 4-play drive. Willie Nixon uses his legs to get in the end zone for the touchdown. Esteban Gonzalez Cruz on his 2nd drive gets the 26-yard field goal attempt to make it 10-0. After that point, some penalties giving some extra life, and then it was a truly spectacular play by Sewing on a back shoulder in the front side of the end zone for the touchdown. But here, second opportunity, a very different look. It's 4th down. 4th down and 6. They're going to bring their big back out to the furthest outside receiver.
5
empty
wide
here. Perini out of the empty look, and another timeout. Timeout taken by Laney College. We're actually going to take this time around, so we'll be back on the other side of the timeout here on Peralta TV. two backs in the backfield here. It's Anthony Hobbs, pardon me. One back in the backfield. Anthony Hobbs is still in there alongside Perini. He's going to shift his running back to the right-hand side. It's a trips formation. Oh, snap is off, and it might be offsides called. With the way that they blew that one dead, I actually think this might be a false start on the center.
Yeah, no one moved before the snap happened, and the flag happened a little late as well. Waiting for the call here.
Nope, they are going to call offsides. So a little bit of a surprise in that situation. Offsides and stopping the play. Usually you want to give a free play. But instead, it's going to change the situation. It's still fourth down and 1. But it's going to be a very similar situation to what we saw last time with Hobbs able to spring free off that left side of the line.
1 yard to go for the Lobos.
At the 44-yard line of the Lobos, it'll be fourth down and 1. Hobbs is the back alongside Perini. Calling for the ball. It's a give over to the back. No space there. Breaks out of one tackle, but it's 11 hats to the ball. Noah Keohuloa getting into that backfield and getting the tackle for the turnover on downs.
Well, they definitely figured out from the last time. They had a similar look, just looking to pick up the first down, not much more than that. But they were all over it this time. Read them like a book.
Ball will be spotted down to the Laney 46-yard line. All the love in the world for the sophomore out of Juniper Sierra High School down there in Compton. Spent the last couple years at the University of Hawaii. And now he's a bounce back here. Motioning the tight end on the other side of the formation here. It's Thomas Riggins at that tight end spot. Willie Nixon back in the game after a stint from Tanner Helton last time around.
Loading the box.
3 receivers to that near side. Play action fake, rolling out to his left-hand side, looking to run it the entire way of it. Willie Nixon steps out of bounds for a loss of 5 on the play. Amir Pickett coming out there and escorting that quarterback out. Ball spotted down to the 42-yard line. That'll be second down and 14 here. Still haven't seen a pass attempt from Willie Nixon yet. Nixon's going to bark out the call. Operating out of the shotgun. Hand high snap. RPO, and it's juggled and dropped by Cole Johnson. That's the hard part when you're transitioning. Cole Johnson, 8 catches his senior year out there as the Class A state champion in Montana, but he was used more as a wingback, and I mean, it can just be a little bit difficult. Your first game playing a slightly different position. Just a little bit of a juggle and a drop there from Cole Montana. Traditional step back, has to step up in the pocket, runs right into the outstretched arms of Tyler McAfee. And no, still staying on his foot as the flag comes in late. A hard hit and a great block by some of those offensive linemen, just earning extra yardage. Eventually tackled down by Kyler Tweeton. A lot of extracurriculars. I thought Willie Nixon might have been down in the play, somehow found a way to keep it alive, and let's see what this flag is.
Jalen Jackson, number 29, with Kyler Tweeton, number 44 on the stop. The quarterback.
The flag is spotted down to the 44. This is likely going to be holding territory. No personal foul called on a face mask, so that'll be 15 yards and a first down.
Face mask on the defense.
Wow, we saw it last time with MPC being able to get the first down on 3rd and long, able to convert, move the chains, and eventually score. Now we're seeing it on the other side. That's the second face mask called against the Lobos this afternoon.
That's why you play until the whistle, like they teach you.
Heart and effort on display. Ball down on the 36-yard line. They're motioning the tight end once again. Here's Nixon out of the gun, making a look to his sideline. Nixon, just a straight quarterback draw. A little loose with the ball, able to tuck it away at the last possible second.
Keeper for the quarterback. Nixon
Couldn't quite get a number on the tackler there, but a gain of 1 on the play. Still haven't seen a pass, or no, we've seen one pass attempt, I believe, from Willie. Eventually, it was Kyler Tweeton able to get there on the tackle. We've been calling his name quite a bit. Was second on the team in tackles this season to go. The sophomore out of Paso Robles, California. 3 receivers to the near side, giving it over to the back. And just some physical downhill running made by Cameron Langoya Akovi. That's a mouthful, huh?
Cameron
After the third down run, it looks like Laney's going to be content trying to get this one in maybe 4-down territory. We are just about in the range of Esteban Gonzalez Cruz. If you can get to that 30, his season long a year ago was a 47-yard field goal. I feel like in this situation with the momentum going, you got to try to possibly set up a 4th down and a short.
Oh, you absolutely are going to do everything you can here to get the 6.
So a quarterback keeper, a flag comes in as Willie Nixon has to dive his way forward. It was a read option kept by the quarterback down to the 30.
Brought down by Ryan Sanders, number 15.
Well, they've clearly had no issues moving the ball.
A lot more stout defense being played on the behalf of the Lobos after they've been able to get out of their own deep red zone territory.
Holding offense declined.
Holding on the offense, it's going to be declined, so let's see. A big situation here. The kick team is staying on the sideline, so it will be an opportunity to go for it on 4th down and 3. So 4th down and 4 officially marked down on the field. Offset shotgun for Nixon. A lot of read options on display here. 3-step drop, rolls out to his right-hand side. He's going to go for it all. Has a man streaking into the end zone, drop right into the bucket. Jack Shooker for the touchdown. 30-yard pitch and catch, and Shooker's in for 6.
He absolutely had him open. He was covered on the initial route, but playmakered himself up the field and had an open spot. Easy drop in the bucket for an extra 6.
That's why we talk about the X-factor ability of Willie Nixon, just able to extend plays, rolls out to his right, gives his guy enough space to break free, and that is a big throw, and the momentum continued on for the Eagles, 16-7, looking to pin on that extra point. The holder is Patel. Snap is off, the hold is down, a chip kick splits the uprights, and it is good. Esteban Gonzalez Cruz, a perfect 2 for 2 on the PATs, and has a field goal on top of that. And the score 17-7 here with 9:32 remaining in the second quarter. Shooker, the bounce back out of Wayne State, spent his freshman year redshirting at Wagner, played a defensive back position, transferred over to Wayne State, where he was primarily a special teams player, switches over to the offensive side this time around, and on his first big game of the season, comes up for 6.
Number 12 to number 5, Jack Shooker.
Aaron Lee, Julius Escort, the 2 deep men. But Roberto Mora has been booting it into the end zone every single time up to this point.
Making the score 17-7 with 9:32 remaining in the second quarter.
Jotting forward, kicking left to right this time for the first time today. End over end kick, and this one possibly a chance to field it. It takes a dead drop down to the 2-yard line. Has to scoop it up as Escort, and Escort escorted down to the turf. After only about a gain of 10 on the return, spotted down officially at the 14. What placement on that ball from the freshman. Oh, my goodness.
Well, after something like that, he's definitely going to be keeping some eyes on him, especially after the field goals and extra points. He's been having a day so far.
Usually you talk about those dead drops or those backward bounces off punts, but able to really show off his full kicking arsenal early on. Let's see, after turning it over on downs and going in for 6, Perini has to roll out to his right-hand side, just shovel passes it forward, and that is a loss of 6 on the play. Tackled by Antonio Campbell, just coming up and laying some lumber down to the 9. Sent it over to Arsenal. Inside of their own 10-yard line, spotted down to the 9.
Loss of 5 on the play.
Giving some flowers over to Antonio Campbell. Really just a freak athlete. He was called the best athlete on the field by defensive coordinator Robert Crowley. Just an extremely physical linebacker that's putting everything together. Motion out Hernandez across the formation, looking towards the near sideline. That's a pop off his arm, fighting for it. Step for step, the intended receiver, and Nico Downey covered up completely by David Cuckoo, and it'll be 3rd down and long. And some pop out of that arm of Perini there.
He didn't even think about throwing it anywhere else. He was dead set on that bomb the entire way.
That's been the hard part about Perini. Obviously hasn't really made the big mistake of throwing an interception up to this point, but he's been eyeing down a lot of receivers early on in this game.
Yeah, and some of them have worked out in your favor, but some of them like that haven't, either through overthrows or just miscommunications. You got to make sure you're on the same page and giving them a good opportunity.
And all due respect for Perini, he is taking these shots into man-to-man situations, so he is really just trusting his receivers. And with the depth that they have on display at that wide receiver position, you can't blame him. Perini operating out of the gun once more. Just going to give it off on the draw. And a really terrific job there by Noah Keohaloa. Once again, getting a tackle for loss on the play, a loss of 2 on the play. And man, he's really laying his stamp on this game, not allowing any cheeky sort of action to go forward for MPC.
Absolutely bottling up the middle of the field, as a good MLB should.
Hunis Mendoza will come out to try a punt this time around there. Setting out Arizona, not giving him an opportunity after 2 shanked punts. So Mendoza, this time a more traditional looking punt. End over end punt, fair caught by Jaden Bridgewater to the 42-yard line.
Fair catch for Jaden Bridgewater on the kick.
So switch up in the punting situation. It gets you out of your own end zone, and that's all you can ask for at this point with the way that special teams have been going for the Lobos. So another terrific starting field position for the Eagles as this ball spotted down to the 43-yard line, working left to right. Going back to more of their power prowess sets here as Willie Nixon will be under center here. Offset I. Looking like there's going to be some pressure off the edge. They do send the pressure. Faked out everybody. RPO rolls out, underthrown slightly, but Cole Johnson able to get that big scoop underneath for the first down. Ball be caught for about a gain of 16 yards in the play, spotted down the 28, but there's an injured Eagle down on the field. I was going to say pitch. Called some soccer last week at Stanford. I was getting my footballs mixed up there.
Official time.
So it's Aziz Muhammad, the man shaken up at the end of the play, the sophomore out of MUI, Oakland, California, a really beloved player on the team. Pardon me, I think I actually got my numbers wrong. Let's actually take a quick time out here. We'll get you situated and give a profile of who's down on the field, and hopefully they're able to get up under their own power. You're tuned into Laney College Football here on Peralta TV. All right, so the man down on the field was Pierre Tillman, one of those young tackles, the left tackle out of Benicia. He was able to get some assistance by Rick Becker and that terrific athletic training staff of Laney College. So let's see, 73 is in, so Aziz Muhammad is going to shift out to that left tackle position, and somebody's going to take his spot at the left guard. Roll out to his left-hand side here for Nixon. Nixon turns his shoulders under, throws, and it's intercepted down to the 2-yard line. Threw it right into the arms of R.J. Dogba. Just a miscommunication on the play. A flag is down on the play, and the intended receiver is trying to call for a face mask. Jake Sugar was right there in the back of the end zone and just not on the same page. Let's see what this penalty is.
And it's ruled an interception for number 3. Pardon me, I get that right?
So it's an illegal man downfield called against Laney College, so that will be a result of a interception thrown to the 2-yard line. So seen a lot of ups early on for Willie Nixon, but a miscommunication between his wide receiver and himself results in essentially a punt down to the 3-yard line. So still a very precarious position to be in for the Lobos.
Yeah, and especially with this Eagles defense, they've really shown out tonight. You got to watch out for them putting up some extra points here in their own, within their own 5.
Absolutely. The DNA of Laney loves to play aggressively. Let's see if they go ahead and stick to that. The big back in the backfield is Anthony Hobbs. Here's Perini. High snap, just able to get it off in the last possible second. Gets back to the original line of scrimmage. And Anthony Hobbs, maybe a half a yard on the gain there. Leading the way was Cadillac Teua. And officially credited with the tackle will be Aki Paonga. Another one of those players in the linebacking core that spent last year at the University of Hawaii as well. Went over there trying to walk on. Quickly to the ball. Eyeing down his receiver. One-on-one coverage all the way down off the outstretched hands. Just running the route on the play was Zion Johnson. Nearly got the INT.
Well, it was stride for stride with him. Good effort from Downey, though. Had a half a step on him. Almost got his mitts on it, but it will bring up 3rd down.
Zion Johnson, the sophomore out of Sheldon. We know about the talent that Laney College has produced. Brendan, you were talking about it. You were watching Last Chance U getting hyped up for this Laney College football season. But Zion Johnson, definitely one of those next guys in line to make the big jump to that FCS, FBS level a year from now. Play action fake. Back shoulder dropping down to the ground, trying to corral that one in is Tavon Sewing. No flags on the play. That's going to be a quick 3 and out. And with 6:42 remaining in the second quarter of play, the punt unit going to be forced to come out. At this point, do you send the house trying to get a touchdown or a safety, or do you just allow the situation of punting in the way it's been going to kind of let itself play out?
Well, I think definitely that the clock is playing a role here. You got 6:42 on the clock in the second quarter, and you're up by 2 scores. I'd just take it here and see what your offense can produce.
This punt fielded down to the 38-yard line, breaking 1 tackle a second, and it takes 3 men to bring down Jaden Bridgewater. Jaden Bridgewater showing off his ability to work with the ball in his hands, and he gets a nice return on the play down to the 27. So only 1 successful offensive drive for a very terrific offensive team in MPC. It's been all Laney College as it is 17-7. It was an interception in a very similar area last time. Let's see if the freshman quarterback the sophomore quarterback in Tanner Helton, who's getting a second drive, can do something a little different here. 2-back shotgun once again. Here's Helton. We saw him drop the ball under center. This one's probably going to feel a lot more comfortable, as most guys operate out of the shotgun the majority of their career now. Play clock down to 14 seconds. Calling for the ball, and it'll be a give. Nope, it's RPO, and it's thrown into the footing of TJ Harrell. Just not on the same page with his wide receiver. And once again, a little difficult, man. Coming in cold after a couple different plays, didn't have much success on his first drive, and just it's hard to get right back into the fire as a guy coming in there.
Well, you got to like that they're still trying to get him involved, got to still going to him, giving him an opportunity to still make a play.
So it'll be 2nd down and 10. Same formation here. 2 back out of the shotgun. Rolls out to his left. It's a shovel pass over to the running back. Just has his back of the helmet yanked down. No horse collar called on the play as the shovel went to, I believe it was 30.
The pass is complete to Kai Vaughn,
34 Junior Jackson.
From Preston.
No, actually, not quite. 35, pardon me.
It's Cameron
That is
Laungia, number 35.
Ahokovi.
From Helton. The tackler was number 97, Troy Walker.
Play action fake once again. Rolls out to his right, pointing down the field. He's going to have to tuck the ball and run. Gets swirled around and drops the ball. Hard hit on the play. And it is a fumble and a turnover. Forcing the fumble there was Ryan Sanders. He's had his imprint on this one. On big 3rd and 4th downs, he's been the man to make the play for the Lobos.
This is exactly what you needed if you're Monterey Peninsula. Get the ball back and give yourself a chance to get back into this one. Huge play from the defense.
Ryan Sanders.
2 unsuccessful drives for Tanner Helton here. A lot of film to go back and look on, but we still got a long game in front of us. 5:37 remaining after the turnover on downs. Dominic throws nearly an interception off 2 shoulder pads and dropped. Suing was the intended receiver as it glanced off his left shoulder. And then I believe that was LeBeau Wallace who wasn't able to complete the interception.
Oh, he had it too. It fell right into his midst. That's a gimme if you've ever seen one. He definitely wants that one back.
Yeah, a few different opportunities where Laney defensive backs have dropped some good balls up to this point. Looking for the outbreaking route, and it gets to Jaden Hernandez. And he really pays the price as Cuckoo just going full steam downhill, makes a hard hit. 3rd down and about 5.
3 to Hernandez, 2 to 6. Number 20, David Cuckoo on the tackle.
Cuckoo being spotted up at that strong safety position. He has been a very strong tackler up to this point. 3rd down and 5, operating out of the gun. 2 receivers on that far-hand side. Screen pass, thrown, completed, out to the 35 and brought down to the 49-yard line. Jaden Bridgewater saving the day, but the screen pass over the middle and now working with tempo. Dominic Perini up to the line quickly. Laney barely getting set on defense here. Officials holding it up for the chain crew to get set. Shotgun spread.
Nico Downey with the reception.
5-man front, dropping out, 3-man rush. Here's Perini going across the middle of the field. Intercepted! Out to the 45-yard line, nearly breaks a tackle. And that is an interception from Caden Bridgewater. Read that play perfectly and feasting over the middle of the field.
Well, I didn't get it on the first attempt, but you throw back to him. He's going to make up for it.
Turnovers on turnovers on turnovers. We've seen it all about here. An interception by Laney, having to send a punt away, a fumble, and the defense comes up big. They hit that jackpot down to the 43. Plus territory here for Laney once again. And it is Tanner Helton remaining in the game after the interception of Nixon. Turn around, the give is to the back, and he is smothered in the backfield. Troy Warrecker wrecking that play. Watts had no room to run.
Both teams have sort of struggled to move the ball through the run game. A lot of their offensive big plays have come through the pass.
You got to remember that left side of the offensive line got shaken up after that injury to Pierre Tillman. Now they run power. It's actually a play action. Eyes downfield, just throws it to the back pocket of the intended receiver and Darion Moore. And it's an incomplete pass. Tanner Helton having a tough time to start this afternoon.
Well, I thought he had Burnside over the middle on the right hash, but he must have seen something a little different, was a little hesitant, and just wanted to check down instead, and didn't result in anything.
Pickett, number 20, with Singh, number 23 in coverage.
Getting you an update there. Giovanni Valverde lined up at that left guard position as they move Aziz Muhammad to the left tackle. That is the way that the lineup is setting here. Draw play sniffed out immediately. Just coming down and laying the blow. Number 57 for the Lobos, and it's Burak Sentinkaya.
The tackle on the early backfield, Burak Sentinkaya, number 57.
So a couple unsuccessful drives here as we move inside at 3 minutes and 30 seconds to play here on the opening half of this 2026 season.
13.
Punt unit coming out, and it's Rav Patel for his second punt of the afternoon, evening, I guess we can say at this point.
Patel looks the punt, back deep. Hernandez, number 6.
Hernandez, the deep man for the Lobos. This one, a high swirling punt, touching down to the 5, and oh man, what a great punt in that situation, but unfortunately the coverage unit wasn't quite able to get there. If it was an end over end punt, maybe you get a backward bounce in that situation, but the coverage on the play by Caden Bridgewater just ever so slightly unable to get there. It's a touchback on the play, and this will spot MPC down to the 20-yard line. The officials are spotting it at the 25, but a touchback on a punt should be to the 20. Okay, they're going to fix this one up. That rule has been in the books for a while now.
I was going to say, he could have learned a thing from Esteban Cruz, who had a great kick earlier to put them within their own red zone. But still starting on the 20 is a good spot for the defense to take up shop.
Here's Perini shuffling inside of the pocket, trying to just force feed Tavon Suing, and he is covered like a wet blanket on the play. Throw your seatbelts out. Jaden Bridgewater just locking up that man. It looks like Laney's really just starting to trigger and play the eyes of Perini. He is really just looking for his guys, eyeing them down all the way, and they're making some big plays on it.
Yeah, it can be easy as a DB when your quarterback is just staring at one route the entire time. You know he's going to your guy. You can make a play on it.
Arsenal is in the backfield off the right hip of Perini. Up and downs for the sophomore quarterback up to this point. Gets the ball, play action fake. He's going to go across the formation, and it's caught by the number 1 receiver, the true X receiver, and Kendarius Poe able to get the catch for the first down. Just some off coverage being played, read the coverage very well. And the ball will be spotted down to the 40 after a nice chunk.
Number 27, Amari Harris.
Eventually it was Amari Harris, the freshman defensive back, able to bring him down.
Well,
6'3", 180.
They've had great opportunities to move the ball on their half of the field, but once they get to the Laney side, they've struggled.
So no need to take a timeout here. The 2-minute timeout will go before the play clock expires. Let's see if they eventually go for one more play here before the 2-minute timeout. And no, they will not. The ball will snap right at 2 minutes. So 2 minutes on the clock. The 2-minute timeout on the play, and the score 17-7 as it's first down and 10 out to the 40-yard line for the Lobos on the other side of this break here on Peralta TV. back here on the field after the 2-minute timeout. The clock rules change up here. If you step out of bounds, you will end up stopping the clock, which is not the situation. The clock only stops on incomplete passes and penalties, essentially. In the non-2-minute situation, pressure comes, and it's another pass thrown up. This one is going to be called an interception taken in by Junior Jackson. The ball was left up in the air. It was effectively a strip sack, but it's called an interception for the big defensive lineman out of Vanden.
Oh my goodness. Everyone on the defensive end getting a wrap, getting an extra possession.
Can't even give you a number on who got the pressure because there are 5 or 6 guys in that backfield. But at the end of the day, it's a highlight play for Mr. Jackson.
And you said it, this is where the clock becomes a factor. MPC already used 2 of their timeouts earlier in that second quarter. Laney still has 2 of their own.
Under center, it is Willie Nixon. Once again, rolls out of one, just throws a duck out of bounds, does a great job, gets thrown down from the back of his collar, so the horse collar will be set forward. This is actually going to be really important here. I'm not sure if it's in effect at the collegiate level yet, but the NFL end up, if you have a horse collar tackle, you get a 1-game suspension now, so I'm not sure if it's updated in the NCAA rulebook, if it's roughing the passer, if it's a horse collar, but that is a big situation to look out for.
Yeah, big no-no.
Personal foul. Horse collar. Defense.
So it is called a horse collar.
15-yard penalty. First down.
So fortunately, we got the official mic working out there, so you were able to hear it ever so slightly over our field mic. So eventually, we learned it. No NFL rules here in this situation. They're not ejecting him out of the game. He's going to be able to play another down here, but 15 yards and a first down, 1:46 remaining. Laney trying to pin up another TD here on this drive.
First down and 10 at the 19.
First down and 10 inside of the red zone. This is the 4th trip to the red zone, I believe, for the Eagles here. No, I believe it's the 3rd. The interception was thrown just outside of the red zone. But a very successful offensive showing, very successful defensive showing early on here for the Eagles. Give goes over to number 5. That's Jack Shooker on the jet action this time around. And Shooker just shaking his way down a shake and bake. And a gain of 9 down to the 10-yard line.
Very close to the first down. Actually knocked over the marker with the chain gang standing right there. Thought he might have gotten it, but they spot him a yard short.
Let's see if the Eagles elect to take a shot in the situation. All it be not much of a shot inside of the 10-yard line, but still take a opportunity to the end zone here on 2nd and short.
Yeah, you got a lot of opportunities with the first down on the other side too.
Nixon operating out of the gun. Jet motion once again. And is another give down the middle of the field. Colb Johnson. Just a full nosedive submarine down to the 2-yard line. That's the man you typically expect to get those fly sweep, jet sweep actions. First and goal. Clock continues to run inside of 1:22, counting down. Late substitution here for Monterey Peninsula College. Let's see if they can get the snap off of time. Nope, they're still trying to get the call in. Very late substitution. 15 seconds remaining here. The legs of Willie Nixon are a huge factor in this situation. Got the 2-back shotgun look, and the clock's going to go all the way down to 1 before Laney takes the timeout. Just brilliant clock management of the situation. The clock stops at 50.5, but as a friendly reminder, folks, fractional seconds do not mean a thing in junior college. If the clock stops under 1 second, it is essentially the same as it going to 0. So something that I've learned throughout my years here in the JUCO game. First timeout taken here. Up to this point, it has been a story filled with some Eagles flying high. A 4-play, 22-yard drive resulted in a 4-yard rush for the touchdown on the opening possession from Willie Nixon, followed up by a 7-play, 22-yard, 26-yard field goal attempt in make from Esteban Gonzalez Cruz. Trayvon suing on a beautiful back shoulder in the front of the same end zone as we're looking down. Got the pass from Dominic Perini to make it a 10-7 game. But it was Jack Shooker finding his way free off the right arm of Willie Nixon. Able to get that touchdown to make it back to 17-7. Trying to pin on 7, more on the board with 50.5 seconds remaining here. And under center now is Nixon with the offset wishbone look. Jet motion, a lot of mesh in between, and a hard hit in the backfield as the ball was given to the back. Carry made by Darian Moore, and the tackle made by Soaki Funaki. The former Monterey Herald Defensive Player of the Year gets a big tackle here. Same formation. Clock still running down inside of 34 seconds. Fake the handoff. Quarterback keeper met at the goal line, drives the feet, and he's in. Chopping those legs. Willie Nixon doesn't give up. Flags fly at the end of the play, but the Eagles are in for 6. And another extracurricular play there. A shove at the end of the play. And a good embellishment there by RJ Dogba, getting the extra call.
I don't think I see a zebra without their laundry on the field. We got every flag out here.
In this situation, you know the leg and the opportunity that Esteban Gonzalez Cruz has, so I don't think you elect to put any sort of yardage on this PAT. I think you send it on the kickoff and try to see if you can give yourself a long field goal opportunity. You have one timeout, 28 seconds remaining. If you put the kickoff, or if you elect to add the yardage to the kickoff, you have to kick it off from the 20, and you're really going to be given a good opportunity. Still waiting for the official call on the field from the officials, though. A lot of unsportsmanlike penalties called as the notebooks have come out. Coach Gallego is going to be talking to the sideline official. The crew today. Oh, we don't have any names. It just says referee, umpire, heads, lineman, line judge, side judge, field judge, and back judge. Somebody forgot to edit the Excel spreadsheet since they printed this out today. Oh, okay, there we go. We got another document. James Decker, our referee today. Kalani David, the umpire. Craig Shaner, the head linesman. The line judge is Patrick Farley. Andy Wu, the side judge. Amir Wesley, the field judge. And the back judge is John Oku. Here's our white hat.
There were 2 unsportsmanlike penalties on the play. The result of the play is a touchdown.
Result of the play is a touchdown as
After the play.
expected.
Unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 55. Offense.
Unsportsmanlike conduct called against
After the play.
Bubba
Unsportsmanlike
Tuika.
conduct. Number 55.
Ooh, that's
Offense.
2. He's going to be ejected.
Number 55 is ejected from the contest.
That is a
15-yard
big
penalty
loss. So
will be
now
assessed
you lose
on the
2
kickoff.
offensive linemen in the first half of your opening game of the season. These are some of your veteran guys. Siosi Bubba Tuika, one of the favorites on that offensive line, but he's already going to be marching back to the locker room. There's going to be some adjustments made on that line at halftime, and it's going to be tough. Austin Crowley's got a big task in front of him, trying to figure out how to move those rotations around. And Coach Ramos, in his second season here, leading the Eagles, is not very happy.
I mean, how can you be after that many unsportsmanlike fouls?
I mean, hey, the grit and the grime is part of the beauty of what makes Laney College and Oakland itself its thing, right?
Yep.
If you got a guy that's a little too chippy, I mean, so be it. Obviously, you'd love them to be able to keep their head cool, but at the end of the day, you're still in a great position here with 28 seconds remaining. 23-7. Esteban Gonzalez Cruz with the hold of Arab Patel. And Trevor Kapowicz on the snap. The operation is good, and that is 24-7.
Good for number 80, Esteban Gonzalez Cruz.
So with these penalties being added on to the kickoff in this situation, you've taken some deep shots here. You might have an opportunity in a live ball to try to pin up some more points here if you're Monterey.
Yeah, you definitely have the opportunity to take a couple of shots and you get an incompletion. That'll stop the clock. You have a timeout as well. This is their opportunity to get back into it. Otherwise, they're going to have to go back in the locker room at halftime and rethink their game plan.
So the kicker has set the ball up at the 35-yard line, and the officials are going to have to tell him to march backwards. We've seen a lot of leg by the way of Roberto Mora to start, but it's going to be his first real hole as he has to kick this one off from the 20-yard line. Going to some old school football in the situation. Before the whole entire changeup of the kicking rule in the NFL came all the way back to the basics. Ball to be kicked off for the 20-yard line. The returners and Aaron Lee and Julius Escort. Heels spotted down to the 20. End over end kick. This one's going to be fielded on the near side. And this is Julius Escort taking out the 20. Makes his way for it. Hashmark out to the 45-yard line. Tries to jump over two different players. And a nice pickup on the play. 32 yards on the return. And a player is hurt on the field for the Eagles.
Yeah, Bridgewater took a shot on the return and is still down.
It's Caden Bridgewater down on the field. Looks like maybe caught a helmet to a spot that you don't necessarily want to say on live air, as that is a tough situation to go about. .21 seconds remaining, and it's a 52-yard field for MPC. Able to jog off the field, Jaden Bridgewater. One of those two Bridgewater twins that have meant so much to this Laney program over the last couple of years. Or this year and last year, I should say. Good to see him able to get up under his own power. You love to see the deep shot here for Perini and company. Well, we saw interception thrown last time around as the Thursday night lights pop up for the first time here. 7 p.m. local time here after the 5:30 kickoff. Here's Perini operating out of the gun once more. Eyeing down his wide receiver once again. Turns his head at the end of the play. Hand-to-hand combat, and the flag is called late. They're going to call LeBeau Wallace on the pass interference. And it looks like Tavion Sewing is still down at the end of the play. This will be a 15-yard penalty, so obviously you see the aggression with 15.8 seconds remaining. But we might be able to see the kicking game of Luis Sanchez. The target range for Luis Sanchez coming into this game as the transfer from Galvin is the 20-yard line. So still a little bit of room left to grow before you get there.
Pass interference. Defense. Number 4.
So
15-yard
down to the
penalty. Automatic first down.
37-yard line. That's officially what they're going to call it. The running back is Ashton Murphy in that backfield. 15.8 seconds remaining. One timeout, stepping up, throwing out to the near sideline, and it's off the hands of Nico Downey. Right there in coverage was LeBeau Wallace. He's had him a tough assignment tonight, just some deep outbreaking routes and 15-yard digs. It's hard when you can't really get a good read on those hips of the wide receivers in that situation.
Yeah, especially when you know the quarterback's looking your way. It can add a little extra pressure of where do I look, which way do I turn to make a play.
2nd down and 10 here. Near hash mark 37. Slow play action fake. Gonna do the same exact thing. Thrown right into the turkey hole. And the sideline judge says it's a catch. Tiptoeing that sideline right outside. And the timeout taken by Laney College here with 10.7 remaining. Wow. We know the arm strength Perini has, but that is an extremely difficult throw. Cover two, just threading the needle right to that sideline gap.
Well, we saw earlier before on their other scoring drive, he was able to thread the needle to the sideline, and he's been doing it all day. Whether it was complete or not was no fault of his own, but definitely MPC putting together a drive with little time on the clock.
And that's part of the reason why some of those penalties really just come to bite you in the rear end.
Laney is challenging a completed catch. This play is pretty beautiful.
Laney is challenging the completed catch. We do not have DV Sport operators here. We got a camera system in place, but we haven't been able to get it to work, so I don't know how this situation's going to go.
Well, they have a different monitor for the referees than we have up here in the booth that they can take a look at.
Yeah, I mean, you do have the huddle sideline package, but from my understanding, that's illegal to tell the officials to go ahead and take a look at that replay. So
hey, at the worst, you can scrub back in the YouTube video, right?
Yeah, right. So unprecedented situations here on the opening game of the 2026 season, and you wouldn't have it any other way. I don't see. Well, yeah, we see somebody using an iPad. They're using the huddle system to challenge the call. This has to be a new rule that nobody's told me about, because that is unprecedented. The white cap just taking a look. I'm trying to get some clarification at the half here.
I mean, if you're laning, like, you're all for it. If you're getting your challenge, then now's the time to use it when you feel like you had a case for it.
I'm awestruck. I don't know what else to say. Overall, the officials have been getting a hold on this pretty chippy game to start. They've been doing a good job keeping things in line and letting physical plays be physical plays. So if there's a crew you're going to trust, it's this one. And at the end of the play as well on the near sideline, Tavion Sewing looks to be shaken up, taking his shoulder pads off before the end of the half. That's something that I did see. So when you fall in that situation fighting man-to-man.
First down.
So after the challenge, Laney College loses it. They will use their timeout, and the call on the field stands. So the ball will be spotted down to the 23, but finishing up my point, falling out on the outstretched arm, foosh is what they call it. Very susceptible to AC joint sprains or something along those lines, so hopefully Sewing is able to come back. He's been a bright spot on this MPC offense. No reviews remaining for the Eagles. Ashton Murphy in the backfield. Perini coming out. One timeout still in the pocket of MPC here with 10 seconds remaining. Perini staring down his receiver towards the near sideline. Throws in a double coverage. A little bit of a tug at the end of the play. The sideline official says no flags on the play, so 5.5 seconds remain. You could possibly try to do a quick out to pick up a few more yards before you send your unit out there. Let's see what Coach Gallegos has in store.
Yeah, this is a big play here, because this is sort of where you're deciding what you're doing. Are you taking the shot, or are you going short and going for the field goal?
Offense stays on the field here with 5 seconds remaining. 20 seconds left in the play clock. Tight bunch to that near side. Perini holds up for just a moment. 10 seconds left. And the final timeout taken here. Ooh, so this is a tough situation. With the timeout, you could have got a quick hitter across the middle of the field, had your man drop down, but now the timeout is taken. Now you have to go to the sideline or end zone for any chance of a play.
Yeah, I mean, we see the kicker are lining up on the hash. They might just take the timeout and set them up already.
So it's the kicker in Junis Mendoza. It is not the standard Luis Sanchez that we expected to come, the transfer from Gavilan College. Gavilan playing Contra Costa College up the road from here a couple nights from now. So the spot is down officially at the 23-yard line. This one is going to be a 40-yard attempt. Laney's been bringing a lot of pressure on these kicks. The backup quarterback, Blake Hardman, is the holder. Brody Madsen, the long snapper. Here's the kick from Mendoza. It is up, it is end over end, and it is true. 40 yards for the freshman kicker as the clock has 0.9, so that's not going to matter. There are no fractional seconds, and that should send us to the half. 24-10. That is our score here at the end of the first half of play. Let's give you a rundown on some of the action that's brought us up to this point. But before then, Brendan, obviously a little bit of a difference, a really rough start for Monterey Peninsula College, but they were able to turn the page, get into some tough situations, and, I mean, set themselves up in a not bad situation. You're down 2 touchdowns, but in a game that could have very much so went the other direction.
Oh, yeah. Well, they've moved the ball when they needed to. We just saw it with the field goal at the end of the half, but previously their touchdown was when it was 10-0 in favor of Laney. And so they've been able to keep in this one and keep battling back when it just looks like they're down and they're out. They have a good offense right now. They're getting a lot of great opportunities to their receivers, and they're doing a great job to stay in it and battle back.
Willie Nelson on a 4-yard scamper got the first touchdown on a 4-play, 22-yard drive after a shank punt by the way of MPC. Same situation made it 10-0 as Esteban Gonzalez Cruz went for 26 yards after a 7-play, 22-yard drive, making it 10-7 at the end of that situation. Trayvon Suing off a back shoulder pass ended up leaving the game a little bit early. Let's see if he's able to make a return in the second half of play. That made it 10-7. Jack Shooker shaking the defense all the way through as he connects with Willie Nixon for the touchdown. 7 plays, 54 yards later, 2 minutes and 45 seconds off the clock. And that made it 17-7 after an interception off the arm of Dominic Perini. It's going to be Willie Nixon who's able to get into the end zone once again off a run to make it 24-7. And after a couple different unsportsmanlike conduct, got the starting right tackle kicked out of the game. It was a short field for MPC, and Junis Mendoza able to connect on the 40-yarder to make it 24-10. 10 first downs apiece on both sides. 3 passing for the Eagles compared to the 8 passing. Only 1 rushing first down on a 4th down attempt from MPC to the 4 rushing of Laney College. 3 for 7 on 3rd down for the Eagles. 1 for 8 on 3rd down efficiency for Monterey Peninsula College. 1 for 3 on 4th downs. Man, you knew that they were going to go for it, but 3 4th down attempts in the first half is still crazy to see.
And we got one on a penalty, too. It was a 4th down, but they got the first down on a penalty, so it didn't actually go down as 4th down. They've been unafraid to take extra opportunities on 4th down.
The passing leaders, Willie Nixon, 3 for 6, 53 yards, a touchdown and an interception for the Eagles on the other side. Dominic Perini, 15 for 31. 138 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, 31 pass attempts and a half, man. They are living up to what we expected to see. Anthony Hobbs, the leading rusher of the matchup, 6 carries for 22 yards with that 10-yard run. On the other side, the leading rusher for the Eagles, 7 rushes for 19 yards and 2 touchdowns on the field using his legs for Willie Nixon. Leading receiver in the game is Tavon Suing, who had 4 catches for 56 yards. And on the other side, Sugar on his 1 catch got the touchdown. And that sends us to the half. 24-10 the score, 18 minutes on the half. We'll be back on the other side of halftime here with more Laney football. Thank you for joining us here on your Thursday evening. 24 points scored by the Eagles, 10 points scored by the Logos. A massive cheese and stuff sandwich inhaled in 10 minutes. That is what that first half of play and halftime consisted of. Shouts out to Cheese and Stuff, one of the greatest Berkeley institutions. I will give you your flowers. A true staple of the community. Back out onto the field to open up our second half of play. The Lobos received to start, so they'll kick things off for their second half after completing a 40-yard field goal attempt. It's Junis Mendoza trying to see if he's got as strong of a leg as Fernando has an arm. Two deep men, David Cuckoo and Jaden Bridgewater. Special teams were a strength of Laney College a season ago. A lot of energy being manufactured on that sideline of MPC as the sun falling down alongside our right shoulder in the rear end zone as the second half is officially kicked off. A winding kick fielded down, and a really good read there on the far sideline by Jaden Bridgewater to let that one go out of bounds. And the ball will be set to the 35-yard line to start the second half. So the way that the offensive line is going to be set up for the Laney Eagles after Tuika was ejected, we got a heads up here. Pierre Tillman ended up shaking up his leg, but is able to return. So the 17-year-old tackle will return to the left tackle spot. Aziz Mohammed will come right back in at left guard. Tayan Farfen will stay at center, and they're going to move the swing guard, backup center, and Giovanni Valverde over to right guard. Anthony Solomon King will be there at the right tackle position, and that is the construction of that front five for the Eagles. So it's going to be interesting to see what Valverde has. A very talented wrestler back in his time at James Logan, a USA folk style champion. So let's see if he can use some of those hips and throwing abilities to his advantage here at that right guard spot. Willie Nixon, after a successful first half, will hand it over to his wing back in that situation. Cole Johnson stood up immediately. Terrific job with that edge discipline for MPC to make it 2nd down and 10.
Ashton Murphy, number 10 on stop.
That's something that you have to do. You have to stay honest when you're playing this Laney offense, just because they'll give you a lot of eye candy and they'll do it very often, so you have to keep your edge discipline.
Ethan Wiley, number 11.
Ethan Wiley got the tackle at the end of the play. Willie Nixon, 3 for 6, has a low ball picked up, caught for the first down. A 5-yard dig from Cole Johnson and a 7-yard rush at the end of the play. An extracurricular activity at the end. Troy Warrecker just shoving the front side of Pierre Tillman. And that will be an additional 15 yards pinned on top of everything. Ball is officially set at the home 47-yard line, but you're likely going to see an additional 15 pinned on top of it.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, defense, number 97, 15-yard penalty, first down.
Troy Warrecker out of San Luis Obispo, the second-year defensive lineman called for the play, or called for the infraction, I should say. And the ball will go down to the 38.
It's the 4th time that we've seen that type of penalty, too. These teams do not like each other.
I think that's just the grit and the chip on the shoulder that MPC plays with, along with the grittiness that Laney brings on a time-to-time basis. Nixon making a check at the line here. 14 minutes remaining here in the third quarter of play. Out of the shotgun. Jet motion for Johnson. Hand off to Johnson once again, turns the quarter, cuts it between the tackles, cuts his way to the 30, breaks one tackle, now to the 25, a jump cut to the 23. Down to the 21-yard line.
Cole Johnson running in the middle.
Hey, what better spot to be in? You played wing back in high school, now you're running that essentially elongated wing position from the slot. Cole Johnson's really in his bag to start.
And his awareness was spot on, was able to follow his blocks and reverse field after taking the jet sweep.
Darren Moore, the back here. Sprint out to the right-hand side, and a flag comes in. This is going to be a false start.
71. 5-yard penalty.
Called against the
Three-point
right
first down.
tackle, Anthony Sem King, the freshman out of Vanden High School. 6'5", 310. Can't get away with it when you're that big.
Oh, man. It's not like you're one of these DBs or running backs. At that size, it becomes a little more obvious.
A little bit of wiggle and a little bit of jiggle, huh? Swapping sides for the wide receivers. Jake Shooker going to be the lone wide receiver on the near side. He does have a tight end alongside him. Sprint right. Nixon, eyes downfield. Going to get all the way to the edge, tightrope that sideline, and just try to get as much yardage as he can as he tiptoes his way down in those Nikes down to the 25. I wanted to throw tiptoeing in your Jordans in there, but he's not wearing Jordans.
With number 97, Troy
Maybe one day.
getting credit for the
I mean,
tackle.
you see it in the NFL. Max Crosby, always rocking some J's, one of those Jordan athletes. Forever, the Los Oakland
Gain of two.
Raiders. Still deep cut in the community. We'll get there in a moment. Second down and 13 from this spot. Really just being patient with the clock. 1 second left. The snap needs to come off, and patience turns to a wasted timeout. So we saw it early on in the second from the Lobos, and the Eagles having to take a timeout here. But as we were discussing in the booth at halftime, we were talking about just recent news. We're not going to dive too deep into it, but I do want to spotlight somebody doing terrific things. Yes, Mark Jackson unfortunately moved, or Mark Davis, not Mark Jackson, moved the team away from Oakland. I understand. It still breaks my heart to this day as a diehard Raiders fan. But what he's been able to do with the community still, like Mount Eden had their whole entire field blown up by fireworks a few years ago, for it wasn't last year, and he donated the whole entire facility a brand new field, just built a new children's hospital out there in Vegas. So despite what it is, got to give my flowers to the owner of the Raiders. Doesn't matter if it's LA, if it's Oakland, if it's Las Vegas, still a true member of the community through and through and doing great things with his philanthropic efforts. Unlike another team.
We don't talk
Sorry,
about
folks.
that.
Sorry. This is Oakland after all, baby.
It's a lot of deep cuts in Oakland.
Second down now from the 25-yard line. Standing tall, has to roll out to his right-hand side, has a pressure in front of him, throws on the roll and just behind his receiver. The intended receiver on the play was Naeem Spencer. The first time we're seeing his name brought up today, I should say. It's third down and 10. So in this situation, it seems like Laney is just on the cusp of field goal range, but it would feel so good to be able to try to get somewhere where you could try to go for it.
Credit this Lobos defense. They stepped it up, and their D-line is getting home on a couple of these swim moves with the new O-line for Laney, and they're starting to get some pressure and force some incompletions.
Here's a third down and long. Sticking with the formation, Spencer moves across. Sprint left. Reversing, looking for a screen pass, finds Spencer, who's immediately sniffed out. Great job there by Parker Gibson. The linebacker out of Redmond, Oregon, just perfectly diagnosing and holding that play up for a gain of very little. From this spot, it'll be a 40-yard field goal attempt.
We saw the same amount of 40-yarder from MPC at the end of the first half.
Same end zone as well. Kaplowicz snap. The hold is down. The kick is up. End over end. And it's good. Opening drive results in 3 points for the Eagles as they go down the field and make it 27-10.
3 points added to the total for the Eagles. At 12:23 in the third quarter, it's Laney 27.
Can't be mad at points, huh?
No, if you're putting points on the board, that's all you can ask for. That's how you win ball games.
Exactly. You could feel the nervous energy here on the opening night on Thursday. A lot of eyes on the field here at Laney College. First game after the passing of the beloved Coach Beam. And you can really feel that energy as the sun sets to her right-hand side. Voices in the booth. Kicker late to the huddle. That's JUCO, baby. Man, JUCO is truly a magical place. I don't know what's going to happen as the years go by and the new changes in the NCAA rules change the way that eligibility is handled, but gosh, I hope the magic and the purity of JUCO will remain the same through and through. Last time we saw Mora, he had to kick it from his own 20. Let's see if he puts all of it into the back of the end zone this time. End over end kick, and this one will hit that E of the Laney logo. Touchback ball spotted down to the 25-yard line as we get our first look of the second half of Dominic Perini. And Brendan, you got to really think that the defense was just talking about, he's staring down his receiver the entire way. The safeties are going to start playing very aggressive over the top, right?
Yep. Absolutely, you said it. Even up here in the booth, we were talking about it during halftime. It can be very easy for the defense to read it when you're staring down your receiver the entire way and make it very difficult for your receiver to make a play on the ball because of the coverage.
Ashton Murphy goes in motion. Perini steps out of one tackle. We're going to see his legs for the first time today. Perini sliding down short of the marker, but still gets a gain of 7 on the play. We know Perini isn't quite the runner as the quarterback from a year ago. Very much so a more traditional passer, but good heads-up play there by the QB.
Yeah, when you have to do it and you have nothing else open, go for it.
Pressure looking like it might be brought off the edge, and it is. Handoff right up the middle of the field, only about a gain of 1 on the play. The carry was made by Ashton Murphy, and the tackle was made by Brendan Harvey.
Ashton Murphy, number 10. With the run.
As we've seen the way it goes for Monterey, I don't think they're going to punt unless they're inside of their own 20-yard line. So this is likely going to be 4-down territory as the ball spotted down at the 33. RPO broken up. The intended receiver on the play was Tavon Sewing, so it's good to see him back out on the field after being shaken up at the end of the half. But the interception is going to bring up 4th down and 2 offense. No hesitation whatsoever. They're staying out there.
Well, that's the way you stay in this ball game, right? I mean, you're down by 17 after the field goal from the Eagles. If you want to have a chance at coming back, you got to make something happen, and you got to go for it on a couple of these 4th downs.
Trailing by 17 here in the 3rd frame of play. Caden Arsenal into the backfield. Motioning the wide receiver across the formation to man-to-man coverage. Play action fake. Pressure comes in late and just throws it a little too far in front of Nico Downey. Trying to thread the needle, but that breath at the back of his neck forced Perini to throw it ever so slightly long, and it's another turnover on downs as the Eagles are going to set up shop right at the 33.
And based on what we saw from Gonzalez Cruz, they're already in range in terms of scoring and field goal opportunities. Very close to that 30 marker where he made the 40-yarder just on their last drive.
1 for 4 on 4th down tries. That's what happens. You flip the coin and sometimes it goes against you. 11-11. Make a wish, folks. Handoff over to the back. Just 4 yards in a cloud of dust, diving all the way down to the 30. Carry by Moore. And the tackle will be officially credited to Ethan Wiley. Wiley, a really good edge rusher, had 6 a season ago, had multiple D2 offers after his freshman season, coming back for a better opportunity, trying to go that D1 route, baby. Bouncing off the right side of the line, ping-ponging his way close to the line to gain. And there's another rush from Darian Moore, as that'll bring up a 3rd down and 2 from the 25.
And he picked up an extra 3 or 4 yards after being hit by the first guy on him. He was just carrying the pile, pure willpower, and getting close to that 1st down marker.
It'll be in that same position again. Maybe an RPO. Nope, it's a quarterback run all the way. Willie, down to the 10, spotted to the 8. That boy's got some juice. Sawaki Funaki stopping him at the end of the play. We've seen some explosive power from the legs of Willie Nelson. Pardon me, Willie Nixon.
Inside the red zone now.
Moore still in the backfield here with Nixon. Giving the ball off on the jet sweep. Tough physical running from Mr. Montana. And he's all the way down to the one. Cole Johnson, he's been very active in that jet sweep game.
Cole Johnson, where's the carry? Number 7, stop by. Number
Johnson on a 6th carry
number 40.
of the afternoon. Above 40 yards rushing here. And it sets up 1st and goal from the 3. Maybe a quarterback sneak. We've seen that successful early. Sprint, handoff over to the right, jumping, weaving, cutting, fighting. And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles.
Touchdown, Eagles.
Lengoya Akovi springing his way through, showing some patience, working through the crowd, finding his way in for 6. (33-10), trying to cross the T on the PAT. Snap is off, the hold is down, the kick is up, and it's good. 34-10. Laney College scoring 10 points on their first 2 drives here in the second half. And this is a very different matchup than what we saw a year ago. There's a very just physical game played by MPC, but a year later, junior college, you have so much turnover, and it is the Eagles just feasting on that front line today.
Yeah, you said it. I mean, the script has totally flipped from a year ago. Laney lost the previous matchup last year, 41-14. Now they're leading 34-10. Complete and utter domination here in Oakland.
It ain't over till it's over, though. All the coaches will be telling you that. It's got to feel good, but there's a reason why you play that full 4 quarters. Some of the Polynesian fans supporting their family, giving those cries from the sideline. Could come out by the fans in the crowd here. End over end kick. This one will be short of the end zone, so it's fielded down by Escort at about the 3-yard line. Shaking one, the defender. And Escort will make his way to the 20. Number 25 on the tackle for the Eagles, as it's Siosu Akulai. Special teams have been a strong suit of the Eagles, and they've done a pretty good job up to this point with coverage, with pressure. Some of the fundamentals. Everybody likes to talk about offense and defense, but there's that big fold to the game as well.
Yeah, a lot of the Eagles' offensive drives have been a result of their good special teams, either getting them down into short territory or getting up and getting a field goal.
Now let's see what Perini's has in store. You got to feel like it's 4-down territory the entire way of the game now. They will stick with some discipline running. Ashton Murphy, just no space to go with there, as the tackle swarmed down in the backfield by Sosefo Aquila. The sophomore linebacker makes back-to-back tackles, special teams, and now at his linebacking spot. Aquila, a 3-star athlete out of high school, had 5 Division I offers, and eventually decided to go to BYU. So, you know, he's got a ton of talent, a ton of size. Doesn't take a lot of people to be able to see that type of talent. Threading the needle this time around to Trayvon Sewing. Eventually brought down by Caden Bridgewater at his safety spot. There's a man shaking up on the field from the Eagles, and that's the situation where you want to see. When you have one-on-one coverage and you have a great receiver in that slot trying to get to the post, that's throwing it in rhythm.
And Soong has done a great job tonight of picking his spots, getting good routes, getting open on his routes, giving himself a chance to bring it in. And he's been one of these guys for MPC who have had a bright spot in this otherwise not so bright game.
Yeah, it's just a matter of the operation seems to be working fairly well. It's just they can't put themselves in really bad situations with just these bad turnovers, penalties, and just setting yourself up in negative territory on defense by going for it on 4th down. So the player shaken up at the end of the play was LeBeau Wallace, the freshman out of Vallejo. Seeing him on some tight coverage time and time again this evening. And as the sun continues to shine a beautiful golden hue over the field, the clock strikes 7:50, counting down here in the 3rd quarter, 34-10. The score here on this Thursday evening. Anthony Hobbs, the bigger back, is in the backfield, and they'll give it to him. Runs in the back of his own offensive guard, able to squeeze forward for a gain of 3. Let's call it 4. That's the linebacker, Keoa Holua, once again leaving his mark.
Anthony Hobbs with the yardage for the Lobos. Brought down by Noah Keohula, number 43. Noah Keohula.
Keohula makes the play, and there's just no space on that line. Nowhere to go, as it was Darius Fontino blotting out the sun.
Well, Laney stepped up their run game in this second half, but they're continuing to shut down the run from MPC, just absolutely not giving any yardage on offense on the ground.
3rd and 6 on the play. Perini and Hobbs remaining in the game, 4 down territory as you expect, trailing by 24 here with 6:30 ticking down. Here's Perini looking to pass, finds this man left all alone, caught down to the 48-yard line, spun out of bounds by Caden Bridgewater. Jaden Hernandez has been quiet for a little bit, but that was a big play on 3rd down to pick up the 1st down. Ball spotted down to the 47-yard line. The chain game a little slow to move forward as Perini and company try to go into mock speed.
From number 2, Don Perini. The tackle by number 1, Caden Bridgewater.
A little bit shaken up at the end of the play was number 22, Cadillac Tu'ua. It looks like he'll be escorted off the field after some potential extracurricular play. Results in Tu'ua having to walk away from this one.
We'll have to sit out at least 1 point.
Defenses look stout for the Eagles, huh?
Absolutely. We've been harping on it all night, but they've been doing well all night, too.
When they do give up some plays, a lot of times it's due to the great scheming and play calling of Coach Gallegos. I mean, in that situation, Jaden Hernandez just sneaking his way across the formation. Nobody picked him up and was able to get himself forward for a 1st. Continue to move Hernandez in the motion here. Play action fake, stepping up in the pocket, has the pressure, and he's eventually taken down after a half a yard on the play. Pressure put on by Junior Jackson, and that is not a sack because Perini was able to get a yard on the play, but still a ton of pressure being set on display. The stats right now, we're saying he's having a monster game. The defensive end credited for 50, no, those are yards. Sorry. Let me get my tackle situation. He's credited for his 4th tackle of the afternoon. Looking towards the near sideline the entire way and has his man open. Jaden Hernandez has been the man with the answer here on this drive. A gain of 10 on the play and a roar of expletives being sent off by the booth of Laney College here. They were not happy with these blown coverages here. It will be short of the line to gain, 3rd down and 1.
On the play, the pass to Hernandez.
Tight bunch to the right side of the field. Perini staring down the left side of the field, throws it up, and the turkey hole catch caught once again. Kadarius Poe found the spot. Perini delivers.
Perini has stepped up his game in this one. He's going through his progressions much better in the second half and delivering, like you said, in the bucket.
High snap handle while Perini steps up in the pocket, just has to shovel it over to his back. A jump cut by the big man, and another big pickup. Anthony Hobbs just buying his quarterback out of some pressure, and he's down to the 10. It'll be officially a 2nd down and 4 after that. And Perini getting a little creative. We're seeing his ability to extend plays at this point.
Yeah, I mean, we saw a little bit of it in the first half, but he's definitely getting into his bag of tricks here in the second.
Hobbs in the backfield once again. Looking to the right side of the field, stepping up in the pocket. A flag comes in late as it's thrown and caught for a touchdown. Hernandez has been the man all drive long, but it's likely going to be a hold caught on the offense. The Whitecaps calling it off.
I'm sorry. That was a monster ball over the middle.
And like you said before, finally getting through some progressions rather than looking down one guy.
It's a shame it got called back. He stepped up perfectly and fired a laser over the middle. That was one of the best balls I've seen from him all night.
Arm talent is not a question whatsoever. It's just a matter of getting the entire part of the game, using your eyes to move safeties, working through progressions, all of that. So after the holding penalty takes the touchdown off the board, the ball spotted down to the 21-yard line. Just right outside of the red zone here, an empty set for the moment for Perini as he finally moves Hobbs back. 3 receivers to the near-hand side. Sets up the screen pass, and it goes over to Nico Downey, who's carrying a defender down to the 5. Jaden Bridgewater got his nose involved in the game, but it was not enough to hold up the first down. It is 1st down and goal here, trailing by 24. MPC knocking on the door, trying to stay in this one.
This was the same range we saw them get their first touchdown from on the near sideline in that first quarter.
Here's the timeout taken by Laney College in a big situation here. So 1 timeout remaining here. Laney leading by 24, but with 3:45 remaining. We'll take a quick timeout here as well, here on Peralta TV. Hobbs, the power back once again in the backfield. The grown man running the ball. Not much space to work with. Huge play. Zachariah Tay leading the way. So Tay able to come out there from his defensive line position to make a big pressure into the backfield.
And number 6, Monterey Palermo.
Here's his 2nd down and goal from the 6. Play action fake. Perini trying to find his man, and it's thrown away. Trayvon Sewing had a brief window of opportunity, but a terrific job done by that right side of the defensive line. They teach you if you can't get there, you got to throw your hands up. Those big paws of the defensive line able to block out the path of a pass, and that results in an incomplete.
Yeah, he sailed it a little high, trying to get it over the defensive line, as you mentioned. And even though you had him, sometimes you just can't find it.
Third down, Perini, one-on-one, far sideline. No flag on the play. Terrific coverage played there by Zion Johnson. Hand fighting all the way down the field, but you are entitled to that ball if you are playing it. Zion Johnson just doing his thing against Sewing there. Fourth down, no question. Lobos going for it.
Just inside their red zone at the 9. What do you draw up here?
I think you go send some pressure. That's been working. Get some pressure, get right into that face. The offensive line has showed that they've struggled with communication by passing off assignments here. 5-man front, 5 all the way through. The screen pass, and it is short. They got the screen pass to Sewing, but Laney did not give up on the play. Jaden Bridgewater perfectly done, and on fourth down, it's another turnover on downs.
The tackle on the fourth down play by number 24, Jaden Bridgewater.
1 for 5. That is what Monterey Peninsula College has dealt with here in this game this evening on fourth down.
First down, Eagles.
Precarious situation to be in for the Eagles here as they get the ball at the 4-yard line.
Just got to give yourself some room.
Under center in the offset eye is Nixon. No, it's actually the other quarterback this time around. The give over to Trevor Watts as Tanner Helton is in on this possession. 2 yards on the play as he's brought down by Ethan Wiley. Still a little bit of breathing room. We know the talent that Tanner Helton has, but his footwork has been a touch shaky this evening. His first game as the Laney Eagle. Let's see if he's able to settle it here on his 4th drive of the game. Under 10 seconds to play on the play clock. Here's the pistol. Snap handoff. And the give over to Trevor Watts, only credited for a gain of 2. Jaden Ramirez got his helmet into that pile. So it'll be a 3rd down and 6 now. 3rd down and 5, actually. So when you run that 2-back pistol, I mean, we saw it with Kaepernick back in Nevada way back in the day. It's really difficult to stop when you have a mobile quarterback. Tanner Helton can run the ball. We've seen that opportunity before, but he's not quite the runner that Willie Nixon is. So it's a little difficult to play out that situation there. Motion, handoff on the sweep to the right-hand side. And just trying to get as much as possible as Watts showed that speed, but wasn't enough power to get the first down. Burek Sentinkaya gets the stop short of the line to gain. And this is an obvious punting situation all the way through the 3rd punt of the evening. As it is 4th down and 1, Heels will be about 2 yards into the end zone for Arav Patel. This is your time to show off your leg strength. Seven seconds remaining. Snap is off. And the right-footed swinging punt, fair caught right at midfield. Great job being able to flip the sides of the field, as that is a 38-yard punt. 41-yard. It's tough to do some mental math off the top of my head there. But you do flip the sides of the field, and you do as good as you can be as your heels were in your own end zone. So just give yourself a little bit of a chance here.
Yeah, I mean, and with how this Eagle defense has been playing, I see no reason to not continue to put your faith and trust in them to get an extra stop.
Here's Perini. Doesn't like what he sees, so he rolls out to his right-hand side. And that ball's batted up and intercepted. taken away, and that's another big boy with an INT. The second interception of the day for a defensive lineman, and it's Zachariah Tay picking it out of the air. Tip drill, baby. Let me get a tip drill. Woo!
That's what I'm talking about.
As a former defensive lineman, I have never been more proud watching a team than I have right now. All the pressures and everything are beautiful, but those big boys getting the paws up in the air and getting some INTs, those are highlight plays you're going to see for the ages.
You love to see it. You love to see it.
A big man moving, and on top of that, ball security at the end of the play. Rolling out to his right, and it's a reverse. Taking his way down the near sideline out to the 30, trying to spin around. Caught up on that sideline, taken down inside of the 30. It's TJ Harrell, tackled down by Amir Pickett. That's a good way to get Helton back involved. His footwork had been a little shaky up to that point. Why not give him a little bit of a complexity, get him a little bit of a fake in that situation, and send your way down to the fourth quarter. 34-10, the Eagles leading the way over the Lobos. And that was a third quarter resulting in 10 points scored by Laney College and 7 points scored by Monterey Peninsula College. So, with that, it'll send us to a break. Thanks for joining us here on your Thursday evening. Max Aggressive, Brandon Kilcoyne, taking a little breather. Back on the other side, throw your fours up, folks. We're getting to the final 15. Final 15 remaining here in this opening game of the season. Thursday night football here from Oakland, California. Laney College, the home of the Eagles. And the first carry of the fourth will bring the ball down to the 25. Ball carrier on the play is Trevor Watts.
Oh, man, you said Thursday night football, and my mind immediately went to NFL.
We got a little treat this week, at least. 3 JUCO games going on today. You got quite a few Division II and Division III games as well. The FCS FBS season kicks off officially tomorrow. Here's the two-back pistol. The give goes over to the back, trying to bounce his way outside. A nice jump cut in the backfield and gets near the sticks. He'll be stopped a couple yards short. That's Trevor Watts once again. And coming downhill is Funaki.
Trevor Watts, number 28.
I'll say his knee touchdown a little bit shorter of what I expected. So the ball officially spotted down third and short at the, let's call this one the 23. Under center here in the wishbone. Fly motion. Give over to the fullback. A dive, a fight. Continuing to go forward, and he's stopped short of the line to gain at the 11. In this situation, you're leading by 24. You could go ahead and try to kick a field goal, but I think at this point, you just keep trying to run the ball. If you pick up another first down, the clock is more your friend than anything else.
Yeah, you said it. The clock is on your side, and you're up big. Now's the time to put some trust in your offense. Let them figure it out on a big fourth down.
Mano, shifting the defensive line here. Offset eye. Handoff goes over to the left-hand side, turning the corner and getting the first down, staying on his feet. That's Mr. Montana once again, inside of the 5-yard line. Olajuwon Whitfield escorts him out of bounds as Cole Johnson, man, he has been electric.
A lot of misdirection from Laney on these jet sweeps, having the receiver take the handoff. Sometimes they do a reverse, sometimes they give it to him, sometimes it's up the middle to the back, keeping the defense on their toes at all times.
It's just about being disciplined, really. It's really difficult to do that in these situations. You're expecting inside to run all the way through 9-on-7, but instead, the quick pop to the outside. And Laney College will continue to run the clock here. 12:34 counting down, and it looks like a timeout will be taken by Monterey.
Timeout. Monterey Peninsula.
MPC takes the timeout, and we'll take another quick timeout alongside with you guys here on Peralta TV.
Time, baseball is your sport.
12:33 remaining here in the fourth quarter of play. Laney College picks up the first down on the jet sweep from Cole Johnson. And obviously, you're not going to be mad at scoring 6, but you can use a lot more clock in this situation potentially. And instead, it's going to be a pass over the head of the intended receiver. Trying to get it over to TJ Harrell, and that was not what I had in my bingo card.
I mean, he almost had it too, reaching up as high as he could go one-handed, may have gotten a finger on it, but couldn't corral it and bring it in.
He's been described as, quote-unquote, a real dude, so you definitely want to get your dudes involved. Under center, and a little bit of that wing T type of action. They give the ball over to Moore, and there is no room for error there. Just tackling the first thing he saw in front of him was Sintakaya. And it looks like there's going to be a down Lobo on the field. The trainers are going to sprint out. Looks like shook up, got that right leg twisted under him. Hopefully he's able to get up under his own power. But until then, let's take another break here on Peralta TV. So a little bit of a tough situation there, but he was able to get up under his own power. That's good to see. Burak Sintakaya comes off, and the bounce back from Texas Wesleyan will have to take a play off. 12 minutes remaining in this fourth quarter of play, and it's going to be a two-back pistol look here for the Eagles and Tanner Helton, who has had the keys to the car on this drive. Play action fake, and they're going to look for it. Throwing off his back hip, just throwing one paw up there, trying to bring that one in was Jack Sugar. Good defense on the play by Olajuwon Whitfield. That'll bring up fourth down, so no clock burn off the play. Field goal unit's going to come out here and try to make it a 27-point advantage. A perfect evening. Oh, it looks like we might actually get a new field goal kicker in here. So we saw all the kicks taken by Esteban Gonzalez, but this is going to be the first collegiate kick taken by Roberto Mora. Doing a terrific job in the kickoff game. And able to thread the needle on the kicking game as well. The field goal is good for Mora, and the 24-yarder splits the uprights to make it 37-10. In this situation, Obviously, you'd love to burn some more clock, but give your guys some opportunities to go ahead and make some plays. At the end of the day, it'd take a miracle and a half for the Lobos to come back into this one, so you're giving your guys some opportunities to get some game film. That's the way I look at it.
Absolutely. You nailed it on the head. This is the chance for some of your other guys that are maybe a little deeper in your rotation to get some reps and get some game time and give them sense of what playing in a game like this really takes and what you're really playing for.
We talk about it with Coach Rob before this matchup. Just the physicality that has been on display from the scrimmage against Modesto. And as we've seen it here now, that physicality has really shown itself through on the defensive side, on the offensive side. That front line on both parts of Laney College's game has really been causing a ruckus. We're going to switch the roles here, so the kick taken by Mora, and now Esteban Gonzalez-Cruz going to take the kickoff here. End-over-end kick, this one going to be fielded down at the 4-yard line. That is Escort just running a straight down line return down to the 30. 25-yard return on the play. Well, we've seen him throwing it and dishing it all evening long. Nothing's going to change. 44 pass attempts on the evening from Dom Perini. Going to see quite a few more of those on this drive. First play will be a handoff, though. Squeezing through it. Takes a couple different tacklers to bring him down. Troy Hill came through from his linebacker spot to get the tackle on the play. Pardon me, it was actually Jaden Bridgewater, 24, not 14, and hurrying up to the ball. Chance high snap, looking towards the near sideline, one-on-one coverage. Once again, the safety came over a late. The ball inserted and corralled. The second time we've seen that back shoulder on the near sideline over to Tavon Suing. And a flag at the end of the play. This one might be a sideline warning. So as we get into a similar position as we saw before, clarification on the rules. So this is the first year that the 3C2A is allowing video review and challenges because of the video technology that we have with the Huddle systems. So if you're a school with a Huddle camera system, you do get a review. I'll have to look at more details going forward to see if you keep your review, if you win it. But that's the situation here. Rule changes all across the board. Instant replay in a JUCO game. Oh, we've come a long way, huh?
Oh, yeah. Well, it's great to see that the technology is actually getting used instead of just sitting there.
I'm still to this day going to be harping on this. There is a chip in NFL balls. Let's hear this first.
Monterey Peninsula bench. 15-yard penalty.
Okay, so not even a sideline warning, unsportsmanlike conduct called against the entire Monterey Peninsula bench. So that one is going to scoot the ball back 15 yards from the spot, fielded down to the 43-yard line. Let me finish my gripe real quick. There's a chip that tracks where the ball is at all times, in addition to the myriad of cameras that you have at an NFL game. But yet we still got old dudes freaking looking down the field. I know you have the new review with the automatic system, but don't get me on my soapbox about that.
Oh, yeah, tell me about it. I could go all day.
Here's Perini going through his rotation to that sideline once again. Batted up and broken up. Really good hand fighting there on the play by Zion Johnson. Incomplete pass brings up 2nd and 10, 10:57 remaining.
Zion Johnson, number 21 on defense.
Yeah, the new chain gain review and everything.
Taking up the play.
I know it's tough to be an official.
Looking for Jaden Hernandez.
Every single time I just think about Raiders, Cowboys, and a folded in half little piece of paper that broke my heart. Index card game. Ugh. Now I just sound like a salty old man. 3 receivers to the far side. Here's Perini. Gonna go for it all. Has a step on his defender. Undercut and nearly intercepted. Zion Johnson did not give up on that play. He was step for step all the way through. And it is another PBU for Zion.
The game within the game. Brady looking deep for
Honestly,
number 5, Tavion
I
Stewart,
thought
and it's broken
the
up
receiver on the play might have had a step, but in reality, I think just a terrific trail technique at the last possible second really perfectly undercut that play.
He's been doing it all night, too. He's definitely been up to the challenge of taking on the receiver one-on-one and shutting him down.
3rd and long, 3 receivers to the far side, empty set. Here's Perini, pressure, and unloads it underneath to his back. Annabong Worth comes in, and the sophomore out of Monterey, California, able to get close to that marker, and yes, he will get enough to move it. Half a yard more. Full out pressure from the Eagles there. Just a really good job standing up, biting down your mouthpiece for Perini. Down the far sideline and drifts a little too far away for Kendarius Poe. It's footwork for Perini. You know the arm talent he has, but when he can't quite get his feet in the right spot, pointing in the right direction, that's when those balls sail on him, as we saw there.
Went out of play on the previous play, on the pass.
Turning it to 2nd down, but not much time off the clock in that play. 10:27 remaining, 37-10 our score here. As the Eagles leading the charge all the way through. Late corner pressure, finds his man in rhythm, and maybe a flag at the end of the play. It looked like it might have been a horse-collared tackle as Jaden Hernandez found his way down the sideline.
Perini's pass is complete to Jaden Hernandez, number 6.
Troy Hill was the linebacker in coverage.
Hill, number 13 on the stop.
Ball will be spotted down at the 42-yard line. That brings up a 3rd down and 5. Perini's been operating here. He's going to have to scramble this time around. Has some space on the sideline. Finds his man out to the 10. Corralled and put in for 6. Jaden Hernandez, number 6, putting 6 up. And that is terrific playmaking ability on display. You see the arm talent from Perini all night long, and he pins on his 2nd tug.
10 minutes and 1 second remaining in regulation. A 42-yard touchdown pass.
That's just good adaptability from Perini. Able to roll out of the pocket on the run and deliver an absolute dime to his receiver and put it in.
Here's Mendoza. Snap is off, the hold is down, the kick is up, splits the T on the PAT, and the score 37-17, 10:01 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Let me give you a stat line here. 27 for 51, 300 yards, 2 tutter butters, and 3 picks. That is what we've seen tonight from Dominic Perini. He has had his lows with some fumbles, some interceptions, and some tough spots and some batted balls. But 51 pass attempts, that is a heck of a number.
But when he's on, he's absolutely on, delivering strikes like we just saw there. He can dime and deal with the best of them if he gets those feet set and deliver a strike.
And the thing I really like about his adaptability to go through this game is instead of staring at his receivers like he'd been doing all first half long, he started a little bit in the 3rd quarter, but he's really started to get through his reads, and that's given him so much of an ability to just extend his game. Now he's not just eyeballing your number 1 guy, your number 2 guy. You're actually going through the offense and doing what Coach Gallegos wants. There's definitely a lot being learned and a lot of growth on display on both sides. There will not be an onside kick here as Laney College leads by 20. Ball fielded down to the 10-yard line. Cutting his way inside, working it out to the far sideline. A possible face mask, yes. Every single flag came down onto the field. The return made out to the 31-yard line. A different returner on the play for the Eagles. That was Cole Johnson getting his reps here on special teams, and he'll earn an additional 15. I don't think I've ever seen all the officials throw their flag at the same exact time. It seemed like it was yellow rain coming out there.
Well, credit to them making it absolutely not in doubt.
15-yard penalty in the end of the run. First down.
They've been doing a great job all night. That's why you work together as a team. If one person doesn't see it, you do, and you work together.
Hey, I was hitting on the 6-7 earlier, but I'll give you this one, kids. No Diddy. Down to the 48-yard line. That is where the Eagles offense is going to get another opportunity. Well, like that's going to be Tanner Hilton all the way through here. Got all the reps in the last drive and resulted in the kick. And now look at the big boy run. Looking like a gazelle making it past the 50-yard line.
The quarterback.
So we were talking about the athletic ability of Willie Nixon. Now we're seeing the scrambling in the design quarterback run from Tanner Hilton. And there is an injured player down on the field for LPC. Looks like on the right leg. Parker Gibson, the man down on the field, and we'll take a timeout in respect for the injured player here on Peralta TV. Coming off the field was actually Kyler Twinton, one of the main linebackers here for the Lobos. So good to see him able to get off on his own power after holding up on that right leg. No need to stop that clock. Continue to let that clock run down. Take a few deep breaths. Practice your mindfulness in the backfield. 15 seconds left, and the snap is off. Rolling out to his right, and the chaos ensues. Throws it behind his intended receiver. It was over to the fullback, Johnny Pena. Flag comes in at the end. It looks like it might be a hold on the Eagles. RL coming out. Colt Johnson coming back in.
Johnny Pena, number 49.
We talked about those big boys on the defensive line getting their paws on the ball. Talk about that guy. 5'10", 220 pounds, just a big body moved over from the linebacker position. He spent 2025 at Reedley. And it's a block in the back called against Laney College. They'll scoot their way back. But Johnny Pena, after spending a year at Reedley, switches sides of the ball. And he's going to serve as that fullback role when you need more of a traditional fullback. .904 remaining in this fourth quarter of play. Second down and very long. Jet motion once again. And it will be a handoff over to Mr. Montana. Cole Montana once more continues to pressure that edge. Man, I got to give him a love. Cole Johnson, okay?
Cole Johnson, on the carry.
Monterey taking the timeout, and that is their second.
Number 59.
It's always funny. When you come to California from another state, what's your nickname? Oh, where you're from. Mr. Montana just has a ring to it, though, man.
I mean, it definitely does. And He's lived up to the name. I mean, there's a lot of space in Montana, plenty of room to run, and he showed out tonight.
Let's see these stats for you. Had to look up his name. That's how much I've just been calling him Cole Montana. Cole Johnson, 7 rushes, 59 yards, and that doesn't factor in the rush he just made, so getting close to that 100-yard mark. He is the leading rusher of the evening for the team in black. Leading rusher of the entire game, I should say. Only 23 yards rushing from Anthony Hobbs on the other side. Out of the running back position, Watts is the one leading the charge. 14 rushes for 32 yards. But it has really been the magnificent legs of Willie Nixon that has shined the brightest here on this Thursday night. Here's Helton. 3rd down and 10. Pressure comes up. He steps up in the pocket, has a man marking him, and throws it too far ahead. Tajon Harrell was the intended receiver. He had a man right there covering him up in number 23, DJ Singh. But here, once again, we talked about the situation early on in the drive for Perini. See it again with Helton. Wasn't able to get his feet pointed in the right direction. Scrambled, had a man mark him in, spying him the entire way through, and just wasn't able to get his feet set in the right way to be able to just deliver a ball on time. Arav Patel booting things away here. Ball is marked down to the 48. Great snap. High, swirling punt. And it's caught on the shoulder out to the 15-yard line. 47-yard punt on the play for Arav Patel. Patel averaging 42 yards on the punt. There's a reason he's a 4.5-star punter. Definitely has been a weapon, and you'll continue to see it more as the season progresses. Obviously, you don't want to necessarily see your punter out very often, but it's great to have that weapon when you do need them. This is how you know I'm a Raiders fan. I love punting. AJ Cole. Looking to the right-hand side. He's going to deliver the ball right over the top. And this is an interesting thing I'm noticing as well, the incomplete pass to the far sideline. But Perini has had more success throwing into that cover 2 window when it is on the far side hash mark. He almost struggles with a little bit more control when he tries to thread that needle to the short side of the field, and when he's given more room, he delivers a better ball.
It might just be preference. You have a dominant hand with the right, and you prefer throwing to that side.
Yeah, the dynamics do change when you're throwing across rather than throwing with an open arm setup. Perini being pressured this time around. Just shovels it over the top, gets it over to his back as it is caught by Ennabong Worth. Eventually brought down in play. Well, I believe it was number 24, Jaden Bridgewater. Hurrying up to the line from the 22-yard line. A quick bubble screen thrown out to Jaden Hernandez, who has been the man getting a lot of the targets. The lion's share here in the second half does enough to get the first down. Jaden Bridgewater once again with the tackle.
You said it. Bridgewater again, and that's great to see as he had a little bit of a shake-up earlier in the game, still making plays.
And we're going to mock speed here with Perini. Perini throwing it again to that far side turkey hole. And this time just not on the same page. Wasn't able to get his footwork going.
Little bit of deja vu, like you said, on that last one. Just couldn't slip it through the window and missed his target.
Yeah, those are some really difficult throws. It's one of the hardest throws in football, trying to get it to the far hash mark against a cover 2. Well, to be fair, it has been more of a cover 6 being showed, so what that means is you're playing cover 2 on one side, you're playing cover 3 on the other side, or cover, man. It's the first game of the season. I'm getting my, you're playing cover 2 on one side, you're playing cover 4 on the other side. So you're forcing the quarterback to make the right decisions, to diagnose the play. And then he's been really attacking that cover 2 side of that cover 6 coverage. And the clock goes to 0 before the snap goes off. Yeah, what we've seen a lot today from the defense of the Eagles is a lot of man-to-man, a lot of fire zone pressures, but for the majority of it, they've just been sitting on cover 6 and trying to get the pressure coming home and not allowing any sort of throw from Perini. But as Perini is all the way up to 55 attempts, that is just not worked as well. Pressure comes this time around, hit as he throws the ball, still drops him to the bucket. Streaking down the field on the go route is Nico Downey, showing off all of that 4-4 speed.
You talk about pressure. Laney brought it, but Perini, great ball to the near side where he's had a lot of good opportunities to put it on his man and deliver.
37 Laney College, 17 Lobos. Lobos marching down the field with a lot of tempo. Bunch formation going to the one-on-one side, a push-off, and a catch made. They're not going to call the push-off on this play as they target Kendarius Poe, or Kerendis Poe, pardon me. Clock will continue to run. The clock does not stop when you step out of bounds unless it is inside of 2 minutes of play. Ball down to the 20-yard line. Trying to pin some more points on here for MPC.
Playing with a lot of pace right now.
This is really helping them here. Perini's time to throw as the rush is a little bit tired here. Drops it off once again over to Poe. Poe on the crossing route takes 2 different defenders to bring him down. Kehoa Lua came up to lay the hit, and that one was after a gain of 9. The clock continues to run inside of 7 minutes to play. 2nd down and 1. Perini, high snap. He's going to just throw this ball away. It was supposed to be a handoff to the running back, but the running back wasn't able to get on the same page, forcing an incompletion to stop the clock at 6:40. It looks like there's an injured player at the end of it. As Noah Keohuloa shaking up at the end of the play. The trainers are going to come out and show him some attention here. And that'd be a big loss. He has been an absolute stud here, playing inside, outside linebacker. Huge addition to this team, and he's not even going to give us a chance to go to a break because he's just going to get up on his own. Sometimes, first game of the season, you just need a little bit of a breather at the end of a long play.
Yeah, I mean, definitely after all those hard hits and monster runs that we've seen, it can knock the wind out of you very easily.
That will stop the clock here at 6:40 with the incompletion in the shaking up player. So it's going to be 3rd down and about half of a yard. Ball spotted down to the 10.5-yard line. Annabongworth getting the carries and the reps here. He will get the handoff this time around. Gets enough for the 1st down as he runs into the outstretched arms of Darius Fontino. They're actually going to credit the tackle over to Tyler Gray. Both those defensive tackles converging in the middle of the field. This will be 1st down and goal now.
Last play with the tackle, number 97.
3 receiver set. Perini, eyes down the near side of the field, off the hands of his intended receiver. Feeding it to Suing once more. He's had himself a heck of an evening. 7 catches, 103 yards, and a touchdown.
Yeah, I mean, Perini's definitely targeted him as his favorite receiver in this one, often going to the near side and dropping it in his range.
Here's Perini again. Quick bubble screen. This one goes over to Hernandez, fighting his way forward. And Jaden is in for 6. Don't blink now. It is 37-23. Obviously, Laney is in a good position here still with 6:06 remaining. But with the aggressiveness, with the tempo, with the success that this offense has found for the Lobos, this one ain't over.
Yeah, I mean, if you're Laney, you just trying to use the clock. The Lobos with 1 timeout and the 2-minute timeout as well to stop the clock.
And this is really going to hurt. The point after goes wide left, so a miss, the first of the evening for Junis Mendoza.
The extra point attempt is unsuccessful.
So instead of a 14-point game, this one will be a 15. Or, is my math right? No, it is a 14-point game. It could have been a 13. It's still early in the season, okay? First game of the year. We're still getting our football math right.
6 points on the Perini to Hernandez play.
With a World Cup in just all the soccer going on. I almost dropped a maths. This is America. There's no S. This is football. It's not football. Let's see. They've been kicking it off, but we might see an onside kicking the situation for Mendoza. No onside situation here. End over end kick. Fielded down by the Montana man himself. Running high, running hard. The return made down to the 34-yard line. Cole Johnson doing a little bit of everything.
Cole Johnson brings it up for Laney. The kickoff.
And in this situation, it looks like Willie Nixon is going to come back in.
Pickett, 20.
Nixon coming in, trying to compose a drive to extend this lead beyond 14. He has been the quarterback where Laney College has had the most success here. Operating out of the offset eye. We've seen him pull a lot of these balls this evening. Sun is fully set here. Handoff goes over to Sugar. Sugar cutting his way inside. Put his foot in the dirt. Just got as much positive yardage as possible. That one was covered very well by Monterey Peninsula.
Jack Sugar, number 5 with the carry.
Laney College doing a very traditional jet sweep time and time again. In this game, when we've seen a lot of two-back pistol and you hand the ball off on a fly sweep so it counts as a passing attempt rather than a traditional handoff, it just gives you a little bit more security. But the timing of that is really difficult to do under center, obviously, when you're not behind the ball. So just doing a little bit of trickery here and there. Can't even call it trickery. Running some fundamentals here and there. Same motion here with Sugar. Instead, the handoff over to the back. Bounces up one tackler. Avoids a defender, dragging a couple guys before taking a big hit. Switching hands 2 times in one play is Cameron Laongia Ahokovi. Ball security's at a premium, but that's got to make you feel a little bit of a tingle down your spine.
He's definitely hype about it. Everyone on the sidelines cheering for him.
And that is a huge first down in that situation to keep the clock running.
That's a 12-yard run and a first down.
Inserting Nixon into the game just gives you another threat to factor in. We saw Helton with an opportunity on a design quarterback run, but just seems like a different skill set that both these guys have. 2-back pistol look, high snap, handed off well, stretch over the left-hand side. 2 yards on the carry. Final timeout will be taken here by the Lobos. So no timeouts remaining with 4:06 remaining. The only way to stop the clock here for the Lobos will be the 2-minute timeout. An incomplete pass, a foul caught against the offense.
Clock operator, please reset the game clock to 4:09.
So 4:09 will be the official time on the big board. 37-23. This one kicked off at 5:30. And the clock right now strikes 8:45.
And number 45.
3 hours and 15 minutes played here as we get into the final minutes of this opening day kickoff.
Man, feels good to be back, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Got my toes wet with some soccer last week, so I felt like I got one under my belt, but there's nothing like football. Football, it's nice. football. Oh, it's the best.
It's nothing like it.
And Brendan, thanks for coming out, man. I really appreciate you.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me out, Max. This has been great.
Offset eye. Give over to the back. Straight physical running downhill.
Number called again,
Langoya Ahokovi.
Brought down by number 15, Ryan Sanders.
Fortunately, I think I'm going to have his name locked down after this one. This is not one you want to see, an injured player. It looks like it's one of the offensive linemen on that front line. Yuri lost Bubba Tuika to 2 unsportsmanlike penalties on the same play. And now there's another man down on the field. Let's take the timeout here. On the other side, we'll be back on Peralta TV. Third down and 8 after the injured player there. The clock will continue to run. New center here, and the exchange goes off well. It's going to be a quarterback keeper on the roll to the left-hand side. Pressure comes there, and a huge tackle for a loss. Ethan Wiley completely sniffed that one through. Laney College losing about a gain of 8, or pardon me, a loss of 8 on the play.
It's a sack on the play for number 11.
The punt unit's going to have to come out here. Laney College will have to snap this one before the 2-minute timeout. Arav Patel getting another rep here. Deep men back is Jaden Hernandez. So he's been doing it on offense. Let's see if he gets an opportunity on special teams. Long snapper is Trevor Kapowicz. Lower punt, this one winding down, hit right in the middle of the field, and it's going to burn some more time off the clock, dribbling just inside of the 20-yard line. Clock officially stops at 2:35, and that's a punt inside of the 20 for the freshman punter.
That's Patel.
Lobos have been entertaining, whether it be good or bad for the majority of the night, but we've seen a lot of good as of late. 61 pass attempts for Dominic Perini. 61.
Lobos at the 20.
It's amazing. It honestly is. Perini across the middle of the field nearly takes off the head of the official there, bringing it down to the 14-yard line. That one zipped right past the ear.
You talk about the pass attempts, but that's part of a result of this Eagles defense. They bottled up the run early, and ever since, NPC has not been able to get the ball moving on the ground. They've just had to keep going through the air to move the ball.
And Perini taking a sack in this situation typically would be a bad spot, but right before the 2-minute timeout, that is actually where you want to be. And that really just goes to the credit of the play calling of the head coach and play caller in Adrian Gallegos. You run a lot of deeper concepts right before the clock is going to stop, so if you do take that sack in that situation, hey, it doesn't hurt you too much. 37-23, it's a 14-point advantage inside of 2 minutes to play. Laney College with the advantage, trying to get the victory here on the opening Thursday of 3C2A football here on Peralta TV. minutes remaining here. The clock will stop by going out of bounds in the situation. Perini with time to throw. Pressure comes, and he is taken down. A party in the backfield as the ball pops up after the whistle is blown. Huge sack on the play. Loss of an 11.
Quarterback is brought down behind the line of scrimmage by number 97,
Tyler Gray credited with the pressure. His senior year, 88 total tackles, 26 tackles for loss, and 16 sacks. That's a defensive lineman. He can really get after the quarterback, the freshman out of Dublin, 6'3", 250. The clock will stop for a moment for something.
We had a penalty flag still out past midfield at about the 43.
The line judge will get back to his position. The white cap and the crew will still convene. There's a whole entire football game going on, but the peaceful sound of the freeway in the backdrop lulling us into a state of peace.
Please reset the game clock to 1 minute, 45 seconds.
So that is two 15-yard penalties on the same play. The ball will advance down to the 41-yard line. Unsportsmanlike and a defensive holding will take the sack off the board. Here's first down and 10, 1:45 remaining. It's going to be a pass attempt by Perini once again. Perini over the middle of the field finds his man streaking down, and that is Nico Downey. Those post routes have been open.
Perini's pass is good to Nico Downey.
Hurrying up to the spot here as the clock will hold up until the chains are set.
Caden Bridgewater on the stop, number 1.
Reset the game clock to 1 minute, 39 seconds.
1 minute and 39 seconds remaining here. It's a little tough. The play clock situation changes inside of 2 minutes to play. So on first downs and on out of bounds, now the clock will stop. Now let's wind the clock here. 1:38. Ball goes to the far sideline, thrown behind his intended receiver. A little tug at the play by LeBeau Wallace, but no flags called. Good coverage there. A little bit of a preview into next week. Lobo's going to go home for their home opener on the 5th against San Jose City College, who has made their rounds around the news cycle. A 44-year-old pastor playing some linebacker for those Jaguars down in San Jose. I heard he could actually ball out too, so I think Lobos fans got something fun to look forward to in the matchup here at home. Rolling out to his right-hand side, he's going to end up running for it. There's the legs of Perini fighting his way to the sideline, stepping out of bounds right inside of the red zone. He's going to be stopped a yard shy. That's where the marker is, so it'll be second down and about 1 as the clock stops at 1:20.
Pushed out by number 25, Sosefo Akula. That's
not what you want to see. Your center yakking in the middle of the field. Now he's going to set up for a snap. Ain't that something? Here's a pass attempt now. Perini, time to throw, rolls out to his right, into the front of the end zone, broken up. They've tested LeBeau Wallace time and time again, and he's came up once more. That ball was straight up into the hands of the intended receiver in Poe, and he fought and raked his way through.
Oh, man. I mean, he's been having a night of his own.
They've tested him, absolutely. Here's a stat for you. 16 total passing attempts from the Eagles. 65 now after that attempt for MPC. It's a tale of two different sides met right in the hole. Aki, go off. Aki Paongo right there in the hole to keep it on 4th down. Oh no, that was 4th down. I'm mistaken. 4th down, turnover on downs. Let me get that the Aki way. Going ahead and making a huge tackle for a loss and another turnover on downs. 1-4-6. That is going to be the final 4th down efficiency total for the Lobos at the end of this one. No timeouts left. An opportunity to take a knee and send this one away as the Eagles defense comes up huge. And they have really shown their dominance on this one. They've given up a few different plays, but at the end of the day, victory formation. Oh, no, they're going to run for it. Yeah, you got to run one more before you can take the knee. My mistake there. So the rush there, and the clock will count down inside of 1:05. Just a little bit of clock work in that situation. Bringing up a 2nd down. Yeah, there's a lot to go back and learn. There's a lot of good and a lot of bad, unfortunately. A lot of the bad happened early on for NPC as they just really been trying to fight out of the 8-ball after going down 10-0. A couple shank punts put them in a bad situation. But at the end of the day, Laney College came out, man. They did their thing. They showed their dominance offensively, defensively, doing a terrific job on special teams. And this is a performance you got to be able to feel like you can put a smiley face on, hang your hat on, and just be grateful that the football season's back.
Yeah, I mean, these Eagles are flying high and a great way to start their season with a 1-0 victory. Couldn't ask for much more.
Let's give you a rundown of exactly how this action has happened. Starting after a shank punt, it was a 4-play, 22-yard touchdown rush off the legs of Willie Nixon. That was a 4-yard scamper for a touchdown. A minute and 11 seconds into the game. At the 7:37 mark of the first quarter of play, Esteban Gonzalez Cruz got a 26-yard field goal attempt to put the Eagles up 10-0. Monterey Peninsula College right at the end of the first quarter of play, 2:07 remaining. Terrific back shoulder pass over to Suing from the arm of Don Perini for his first. 2 scores consecutively for the Eagles. One at 9:32, one right before the end of the second. It was a 30-yard pass over to Jack Sugar off the arm of Willie Nixon to make it 17-7, and then 24-7 off a 2-yard rush from Willie Nixon. Right before the end of the half, marching down the field, using tempo, Mendoza strikes through for a 40-yard field goal attempt, and with zeros on the clock, it makes it 24-10. In the second half, 27-10, 34-10, 37-10, a plethora of scores shown, a touchdown and 2 field goals. Esteban Gonzalez Cruz had a 40-yarder. Longoria had a 2-yard touchdown run. Mora had a field goal kick of his own, and that made it 37-10. And from that point, fighting effort, 2 touchdowns scored for MPC, but just not enough to be able to go ahead and get that victory. 17 first downs to the 25 of MPC is what the evening will end. It was the rushing game that really helped out. The quarterback run game, the running back run game, 10 rushing first downs to the 2 of MPC, 21 first down passing. That is the number. Efficiency on third down is going to be something that the Eagles talk about going into next week's matchup. 4 of 14, 29% on third down. They did go for it twice on fourth down, going 2 of 2 with a 100% completion. 66 plays, that's the number of plays that Laney had compared to the 90 of Monterey Peninsula College. So a lot of offense shown on display. When Laney scored, they scored on some explosive efforts. Dominic Perini finishes the night 35 for 65, 427 yards, 3 tugs, 3 interceptions. The defense came up, they were opportunistic. The big boys got involved, man. Some of those defensive linemen, feed those guys right up front. They got 2 of those picks out of the 3. Willie Nixon will be the leading passer, 5 for 9, 67 yards, a touchdown and an interception he would want back. Tanner Helting got some burn as well, 1 for 7. He's going to want this performance back, but this is a learning opportunity. Trevor Watts had 14 rushes, but the leading rusher on the afternoon, Cole Johnson, 59 rushes, 7 of those did some special teams too. Cole Johnson, Mr. Montana, have yourself a day, coming all the way down to the West Coast from your spot up there in the northern aspects of the United States and making your play. Let's give you some action from the defensive side. The leading tackler is Ryan Sanders for the Lobos, and on the other side for the Eagles, 8 solo tackles, 8 total tackles. Jaden Bridgewater, man, he had a tremendous evening. David Kuku coming out for his first performance, got 7 total tackles of his own, and the linebacker crew showed up. They were deep and they were active. 2 sacks on the evening. Tyler Gray credited with 1. Junior Jackson credited with another 1. The interceptions go the way of Zachariah Tay, the defensive tackle. Caden Bridgewater came up and got a pick of his own. Junior Jackson got one of his own. And Jackson also credited with a forced fumble on that very first pass of the game. And that will put a cap in it. 37-23, our final score from Laney, from Oakland, California, here on the campus of Laney College. The next game for the Eagles will be at De Anza on September 5th, so another team that moved up from those national rankings into the big rankings. De Anza, we'll see how well they do this year. They had a struggling performance against DVC during the scrimmage where DVC ended up, I think it was 50-7 was the final on that one, but in reality, that's a very terrific team on the other side of the tunnel there, so let's see what they have in store. If you're Laney, obviously, you would love the score to be a little bit lower on the other side. A lot of those points came late in the game, but at the same time, you're very happy to get a win. And honestly, in a very heart-heavy situation, the first game played here at Laney College since the passing of Coach Beam, I don't think you could be happier with any other result. For Brandon Kilcoyne, for Max Agrest and our entire production staff here at Peralta TV, we send it off, and in the only fashion we know how to here in the great city of Oakland, California, 2 claps, ready.